Test, test, test. Testing, testing. Test, test, test. All right,
Yeah,
everything's working. All right, thank you all for attending this week. We're ready to again to get started. We left off with some good information last week. We want to make sure everybody's getting full understanding of everything you're doing. That's why we do these calls. They're more like community meetings so that we can reason with our mind and see exactly what it is to do. Because we have to actually talk to the IRS ourselves. So I talk to this information, through a way that we can casually talk about it and also be professional as possible once we deal with the government. So if you all are new to this call, if this is your first week, if you've ever started with this knowledge or information, my name is Wallace. Some people call me Raak or Temple. Whichever one you feel comfortable, feel free to call me that. I have been doing this revocable living trust knowledge or studies for a number of years. We can say over 6 to 7, we can say over 7 years now. I've been studying the revocable living trust. And what I've learned about the trust is that there's always something new to know. You don't fully get to know everything in just a week or a month or even a year. Every year I've learned something new. So my newest thing that I can say that I'm working on that I couldn't understand in the past was understanding how to do the trust, not only for myself, but for my family and for my beneficiaries and people around me. So what we're learning is that once you get your trust right, once you get your stuff together, then you can help others. But if you can't help yourself, then it's going to be difficult for you to help others. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to discuss any and all types of comments, questions, or shares of what we have going on. What is not working out for you? Let's say you got the trust, you got the instrument. Some people say, well, I got everything. We want to talk about what is not working out for you. And we also want to talk about what is realistic and what you actually can do. If you were standing in court, let's say you were standing in court or you were standing in front of a whole bunch of people that and you have to talk about the trust. So we want to make sure that we have full confidence and full understanding when you do this. I've been in multiple situations where I have been able to talk to the Treasury, I've been able to talk to government offices, talk to corporations, banks, people, all types of different scenarios. So I'll open up the mic for us to get started, but I want to give us the opportunity to talk about exactly what you want to do, because I know there's so many things that you can do and everyone's trust is customized. So let's get the ice broke and get started. For anybody's first comment or question, make sure you raise your hand before you open your mic so we can keep decent order of everyone being able to take their turn. Go ahead. We see Raymond Allen. Go ahead. You got your hand raised first for our Q&A.
Good evening to everybody. And my question is real quick. Your the children in the trust, if they're under 18, they're only beneficiaries, or can they be trustees right now?
All right. It's a good question. So based on our knowledge and research, if they're under age 18, they're considered a minor. That's in the eyes of the law. So they cannot be a trustee if they are still considered a minor. Another reason they can't be a trustee is if they are incompetent or if they don't know what they're doing. That's another way that someone can't be a trustee. So be careful with appointing someone as a trustee and they don't even know that they're a trustee. So I want to make
Right.
sure that was clear as well, that you just don't grab a family member and say, hey, I need you to sign this trust for me real quick. And boom, we go to get it notarized and they don't know what they're doing. So that's another reason you don't bring that person in as a trustee or if they're under 18. Hope that answers that question.
So the competent part is them having gone through this process also.
Right. So we don't use the word process from here on out. We're going to say
Okay.
the law, because if you don't
Understood.
understand the law or follow the law, then it won't work out, right? So they have to understand the law of being a trustee. They have to understand the law of using a trust before they can be a trustee, whoever they are, including our children. Even if it's our own children, if they don't understand the trust, then you can't bring them in as a trustee yet. So that's another thing we're going to start talking about. Who is it that you can trust? That's your trustee, whoever you can trust. And we'll start talking about more of that later. But thanks, Brother Raymond. So I hope that answers your question on the children, the beneficiaries. No, you can't put your daughter, if she's under 18, or your son as a trustee. That's any of us that's listening to this call. Okay, we got France. Go ahead, France. You got your question on the board.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining this group. So I am living in Sweden, and I'm trying to do all this with the trust and birth certificate. And I was wondering, I have many cases or situations, but I have done this trust, not the trust. I have done this assumed name in Minnesota, and tried to do the way, like the sole proprietor thing, but doing it from uh, from the U.S. even if I never been there. And one person told me, because I have a situation with my daughter with the government, that I could use, said that she was a part of my revocable trust, so I can bring her back to me and our family, my daughter. But this is, I have never been in the US, but he told me that we can use these rules by 998 minor island, that like I'm operating in these things, even from here. This is one question, is this is that can work in the long run. The other one is, what others said to me, that even from Sweden, I live in Sweden, that we can do this sole proprietor thing. I tried to enter uh, this uh, this website, but it's difficult. They have made it difficult to do it. But anyway, he said you can do it, and after that you will make a trust, and you will like take your out from the jurisdiction from Sweden, but you will be to the UN and the Bank of Swiss. This was my question. If somebody understand this or can guide me in this.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for that question.
Thank
Um,
you.
so let's first say you fit in a very unique situation. You're international. Sounds that you're an international, and you are looking to use the revocable living trust.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, uh, you qualify. So the way it works is a revocable living trust overrides the United Nations, right? So you're the European Union, right? Everything is
Yeah.
under United Nations, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So United Nations meets where? Where does the United Nations meet?
I believe in Brussels.
In
I,
Brussels, okay, right?
I believe, yeah. I'm not sure, Geneva or something. Brussels, but Geneva.
Right, right. United Nations. So they also have a location here in America, by the way.
Hmm? Yeah.
Are you familiar with that location of United Nations in America?
Uh, yes, maybe they are in Nevada or Delaware, or I don't know.
No
I
problem,
have
no
heard.
problem. Right. So yes, in America, the rule applies for United Nations the same way. So with the revocable living trust, this is still applicable in your country, even if it's written in English in my country. So it's the same as that. Um, we'll say the same as that words and same as that jurisdiction. So it takes you out of the jurisdiction of the country that you're in. So you have to do something in your country called a sole proprietor. Whatever that translates to into your country, it's a sole proprietor. Now you said you found the site, right? Sounds like you did some good research so far. I think I was able to talk to you if this is the same guy. I was able to talk to up to that point. But
Yes,
yes, that makes sense, right? So that site that you reached, did it actually give you the option to be this, to actually activate that soul?
so I did it in Minnesota. I had a friend from there that guided me, but I saw that was difficult to do it because we had a guy, David Clarence, that had a guide, or
What
another
I'm,
guy. That,
let me ask this
but
question to you this way. Let's ask the question. Are you in Sweden? Like, is that your
I
location,
am
right?
Sweden. Yes, this is my location. Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
am here.
have you done it in Sweden is what I'm asking also.
Yes, yes, I have done this for like 10 years ago, only for having a company, my name. But when I did it today, I noticed the questions were very, it was like difficult to
So did you
do
do
it.
it for your name? Is the next question. Have you done it for just your name? Not a business name that you created or a fictitious name, but what about your name in
No,
Sweden?
no, no, that is the thing. You cannot come into that question to do that by the name before you must answer all the other questions. That is that.
Hmm.
So, for example, the first question is like, uh, how how much are you going to do the first year without tax or without the other tab or the ATV or what you call it? The other, then there comes the other question: how many is gonna be employed? Is it only you, or are you gonna be employed, or no employee? Questions like that. But uh, I
Okay,
know.
so it
Mm.
sounds to me that you have the answer, but you just need assistance walking through the application. Is that what you're?
I am fast and I can do it, but I don't want to do it wrong because when you
No
do it
problem, no
wrong,
problem. That's no problem. So I get where you're at. So it does seem that it is possible to do it in Sweden based upon what you're telling me.
amen, amen. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Because what? Yes. Then I have some other question, but maybe I can wait for other people to.
No problem, no problem. We just want to pick your brain to see if someone is not, let's say, in United States. So you fit that category without United States, actually, where your trust becomes international,
Yeah.
and the same revocable trust instrument can now be used in another country.
So exactly. So, for example, when you wrote that yesterday, I get very happy because then I thought, okay, I don't need to go the route by Minnesota because I already have that document from Minnesota, the assumed name with my all
Mhm.
caps, and I was doing the process to taking all my children in that, and I spoke with some other persons, real life people that said to me, listen, when you do the trust, this must be a special document, not 12-inch, 12, 14 special paper.
Ah, right. There you go. Special paper 12, what is it?
Special
14, right? 14.
14. He said it must be, and this, and then he speak what he showed me. He speak a lot of things. He give me. I appreciate this guy, and he says to me, "You can do all this, and then because I had a daughter, or I have her, but social service took her with a mother." And you don't know my case, but I know who I am. So I want to fight for this. And
Right. Right.
uh,
So this is similar to America. They call it child protective services, or they call them Department of Children and Family.
yes,
They're
social
similar to
service.
how it
Yeah,
is in Sweden.
yeah, yeah,
So that's your revocable trust actually helps you take what they call custody. So your goal in this situation is to gain custody over the what they call in their world the children. But at this point,
yes,
you're going to bring them under your trust as a beneficiary. That's the way
exactly.
you would be able to start that. But you got to have the trust instrument to even tell them this is what you're doing.
Yeah, no, no, because I have gone up two, three ways in court normal, but they always win, and I
Right,
have
right.
lost.
So right.
So
So
I,
do not go into court. Do not go into the court as a defendant. That's what we'll
yeah,
also tell you as
yeah,
well. You go in the court as a plaintiff or a
yeah,
petitioner, right?
yeah,
And I know people kind of lose this part, and that's what I'm going to get to later in the meat of my discussion. I'm glad you asked these questions, Franz.
yeah. Thank
And
you.
you're in a whole nother international situation. So yes, this would
Yes,
be an international court situation as well as your country's court.
Yes,
Obviously,
it
yeah.
is.
I mean, it's the same as that stuff we have over here, just a little different language and different words. But yeah, it works the
Mhm.
same way. So I hope
So
I
the,
answers your question for the children being added to your revocable trust.
exactly, exactly. And then it's about, I don't know if you understand this. I know you understand, but 9998, I am outside the territory, but I'm like international. Like that is supposed me to feel like I am in the near the post office. Is this correct? When I'm acting in this, uh, because
Yes.
when because in the documents they say to me, you must put always rest trust near 998 outlying island, the rule 22 from Minnesota 220, the landmark. Is this?
Well, not quite. What it
Okay.
is that they're saying is you want to get something called general delivery near the nearest post office, right? So if that post office nearest that address has general delivery, that's what you're searching for. Just to kind of go into that process for you a little bit.
Yes, because I was stuck there. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so just to help anybody that wants to understand how to make sure their trust,
Mm,
once you are dealing with the trust wherever you are, that you get it sent through general delivery, where you get it sent to the post office, actually sent through the post office.
uh,
So you can I think when you go to that, you just look for the addresses, quick tools where it says search for an address, find a UPS location.
okay, I go into this page that you are in now.
Yes, you go to USPS.com.
Okay, yeah, I print. Sometimes I print and I don't show. I did show. Can I print now? It's okay.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. I'm just gonna just go this for anyone that's listening. If you're dealing with the United States or without the United States, these are the post office. So let's say I'm gonna type in what state or place you want me to give your post office. Give me an
Okay,
example.
for example, you want my address?
No, I
Uh,
want you to give me the location in America that you want me to deal with the post office. Where do you want me to?
no, that's the thing I don't really understand because
Okay.
I speak with a guy, but I don't want to burn his head because I studied too, but he's little difficult. But he said like me, um, you can you he mean that I can be here in Sweden, open a post box and like claiming in the trust when I write in the trust or that I am also not inside at the envelope, so they can understand that I'm like a minor island. That
Right. So that in itself is something else that'll be more complex.
okay,
But
okay,
what you
maybe
can do, that's the estate. That's the estate that you're speaking of. So we'll get more into that, not to take you
okay,
way off. But
okay,
let's just stop you right here for the address of the 998 information that you gave or the
okay,
99 that you're speaking of. So
okay,
what you would do is you go to the post office and you'll search for the location that actually has those digits of dash 9998. So like I'm in New York right now. Look at this. Here we
uh,
go. So we found a place in New York. If you're in
uh,
Old Chesia, 217 West 18th Street, New York, New York, this is a post office that deals with your international uh, private post that you're talking about right here. See this
okay,
dash 9998?
okay,
All right, so that's an example of what that'll give an example of that for people who are interested in understanding that as well.
okay. So all post offices or original have this 998 or this.
No, 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 not
Okay,
all. That's the
okay,
thing. You have to find the one that does.
okay,
All right. So that's for all, if you're doing that process, make sure it does go into that service where it allows you to do that.
mm. But the
Other than that, I
99.
think that closes out from where you are. Want to make sure anybody else had a thought or question. And we're gonna get a. I think I talked to you before. We're gonna get into a walkthrough for you. I think I got your message to
Yeah,
get
thank
that
you.
sole proprietor for you because I think
Yes,
you're at the sole prop as well, where you need to get the sole proprietor in Sweden.
yes.
All right. So thank you for that, brother friends. And does anyone else have any thoughts, questions, or shares before we go into our discussion? About maybe 10 minutes, we're going to get into our discussion.
Yes, I had one more question. The letter or the notification to the general attorney, right? Or the state attorney, the state general attorney. That's the same information that goes to the child support and the um social security administration.
No, no, it's a court case. So if it's talking about child support, it's always a court case number.
Okay.
So you have to deal with the certified copy of the trust from the court case,
Mm,
and then from there, it should have that case number if you got the certified copy from that case number of the trust, right?
mm,
So then you issue that copy of it to whoever you want to talk to. Usually, if it's a child support case, based on our research, because I know you're in Florida like us, we
right.
found out it's the attorney general's office. It's not the state attorney. So a lot of people thought it was the prosecutors or the state attorney's office. It's not them. It's actually attorney general. They're the one that's executing the child support bond if you don't pay. That's what they say is failure to pay. It's not necessarily you go to jail, but they can write a writ, which they call it as like a blue writ, which is where they can issue a warrant or a capias. That's what they call it as a capias. So yes, child support is always connected to the court case if one is informed of that. If you have the trust, you can use the trust to get out of the court case.
Okay. Okay.
Is that
So
does that add up, right? I just want to make sure you
yeah,
start with the trust if it's the court case.
right. So it just sounds like the general attorney, like you said, is all in one. They the head of it, so it just rolls down. Got you.
Right. It's supposed to be them anyway. When you go to court, it's not the state attorney's office. It's one of the first thing I wanted to give us the visual effect, right? It's
General attorney.
correct. It's a whole
Oh,
nother office. It's a whole nother office that's doing those cases. You see what I'm saying? So you got to talk to them. They're the one that can drop the case. And yeah. So whoever that name is or that attorney on your case, that's who you're supposed to be talking to. Does that add up?
whoever the name is, you talking about the judge,
No, 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 no.
the
Prosecutor.
general attorney. That name. Okay, got you. The person just got to ask for that information and then address that person. Got you.
That person's name is on your documents. You just didn't realize who it is. That the name of the person that's the attorney that's bringing you to court. I had see Bobby was going to say something. Maybe he had an answer to that.
Oh, I was just saying the prosecutor is on your documents.
Right? Can you go into that more? Because some of us may be new to this. Who are those people that are on those documents?
The clerk of court, the judge, and the attorney. So most of the times, the attorney that is representing the state, because the state cannot speak for itself, so they get an attorney, and this is on your documents. And yeah, you need to talk to the opposing party, like who is suing you, and it's most of the times an attorney, the prosecutor.
Exactly. So that's a good point. So for those who are new to this, your trust has to be able to communicate to that attorney based on the answer for you, Brother Raymond. Okay, so some of us may have these cases, or maybe a different type of case that still deals with the court. That still is your main answer. You have to have the revocable trust instrument, and that instrument has to go on to the court case. And then you need a certified copy of the instrument that you placed on the court case. Any questions or thoughts on that? What we just gave as an immediate response when you have a trust with a court case. Okay. So if we don't have any other continued comments or questions or testimonials, I'll just give my last testimonial for this week and comments and questions I may have had. But I'll introduce this firstly is the way that we're supposed to go is always the straight way. And I'm going to start off with that mindset because I know that this can get really kind of shaky where we get a lot of new people coming in and we get new ideas of things that it seems to be different, but it's all the same knowledge. It's the same information. But the main question I wanted to ask myself is, how do I know? How do I know I can claim tax money back? So I'm asking the question just like how I would want somebody else, if they ask the same question too, like, hey, how do I know for sure I can claim tax money back? So that's what we're going to discuss today. We're going to discuss why you have the power and authority to make claims. You're the only one that can have this power, and you're the only one that has this authority to make the claim. So I hope this helps with us getting the mindset when you have the trust. The revocable trust is the activating document. Now, we say this on more of a trust instrument mind because this is before you deal with the Treasury. Some of us are still thinking the IRS have the power, but it's not the IRS that has the power. It's really you. All right, you have the power. And you're going to learn this today as you begin to learn how to make these claims. And I'm telling you, these are claims that you have to make sense to you. Because you're the one that's going to talk to the Treasury, you're going to talk to the IRS, you're going to talk to the offices that I'll be going over today. And I got sources and I got notes for y'all. So like I talk, I don't just try to give you information and just tell you something works. I want to show you how it works and why it works so that you can understand it, not for someone else to tell you they fully understand it and do it for you. You need to learn how to do it for yourself. So you're going to learn how to make claims against these departments, all these departments, all these places, you have to make a claim. So to make the claim from the Treasury departments of any government entity, right? So that's your first step. Y'all need to talk to the Treasury departments of any government entity. That's your money department, your finances department, your tax department, whatever that name is, that's who you're supposed to be talking to. Or agency, you pay cash. So if you pay cash, you paid some money, you paid cash. I don't care if it came straight out of the street and you just had cash on you. You paid cash. They gave you a receipt and it was like, nah, don't worry about the receipt. Look, it's still on their books. You paid some cash. You went to the corner store and you went back home. That's cash you paid. So yes, that corner store has a business. That corner store actually has an EIN. You went to Walmart. You bought stuff out of Walmart all year. So much stuff cash. You didn't even use credit cards. You didn't use debit cards. You just used cash. So I'm being plain with this to kind of show you that this is important of who you pay cash to. Next is credit. Some of us just got credit. All we have is credit cards and you just paying credit with it. That's fine. There you go. Credit. These are the people you now have authority because you paid the credit. Last but not least, it's the big one. It's the hardest one right here. I'm still in a way dealing with this one too, but y'all all doing it right now. And this last one is sweat equity. Sweat equity. That means your sweat, your blood, your tears, your everyday living is called sweat equity. Every day that you go and clock in at wherever you clocked in at. All right, so this is called sweat equity. You're supposed to claim that power and authority over that. So that's my introduction to this. How do I know how I can claim this tax money back? Next is I'm going to talk about your name and how your name is considered a grantor. And the way you have this grantor position is because you got the revocable trust instrument. You also have done those, what I just said above. You actually have given the cash, you've given credit, you've given sweat equity. So this allows you to know that you should be able to claim some tax money back. So your name is considered a grantor. And once this is done, and the one who claims the funds is your living soul as trustee, the sole proprietor, this is how you open up the straight way to how you're supposed to do things. This is the straight way. There's no left side. You're not going to the left. You're not going to the left. You're not even going to the right. You're going straight. Nothing's going to change. You're going to use the same things that you always been using this whole time. It's just going to seem a little different once you activate certain accounts. Now I'm going through this slowly because I'm going through this as if I had to understand it myself. So you're the one that's going to claim the funds in your living soul as a trustee. That's the one who claims the funds. The individual cannot claim funds. We're going to prove this today. We're going to prove how the individual really doesn't have right to claim no funds because you're by yourself. You're individual. There's nobody with you. That's the problem. So we got to learn how to get out of the individual side to the trust. And then we're going to learn how you don't give the trust over to the bank too. So we're going to learn these layers to why they can still capture you back into the system if we're not careful. So right here it says an individual does not have power to claim unless he or she or corporation, i.e. a court, a bank, etc., is listed as a trustee of a trust. Okay, so that is your power to claim. So this also gives you understanding how you know you can claim your tax money back. So do you feel like you are a trustee of a trust? If you feel like you are a trustee of a trust, this makes sense. If you don't feel like you are, then none of these things will work. Is this all adding up? Does this add up? Does this give clarity to how you can walk the straight way?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So how do you feel, Queen Mother, about how it looks on the individual? Do you feel like the individual is able to feel comfortable making those claims for tax money back?
No, because they
Yeah.
still consider a debtor or still incompetent as far as this corporate government is concerned.
Okay.
So, like you said, when you become the trustee and have documentation of being the trustee and put everybody on notice that you are the trustee, then you go ahead and handle your business.
Mm-hmm.
As
That's
long
it.
as
I
you
was just
don't, long
wondering.
as you don't do that, you're still in a system as a debtor because they can pull you up anything because they got our social, they got our caps name, they even got our signature. That's why they can keep dipping and dabbing into these credits until you stop it, till we stop it.
Mm-hmm. That's right. We have to stop it. It's we can't.
Exactly.
We can't be no I. I can't. I can't
Okay.
stop it by myself.
Exactly.
The I individual.
There you go. You know what somebody told me a long time ago, y'all? What individual means? I'm gonna break it in syllables. Let's see, ID divide.
Mm.
Individual. Yep. I said, wow, ain't that something? And see how they have these words for us, all these legalese. We got to get out of that eat also. Get our mindset right with the right words. Because if we keep using that legalese, we still putting ourselves in that system also.
Mm. Mm. It's so true. Because over the
Yeah.
phone, you can do it over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
No matter about none of the docs.
Oh,
It'll.
here's what individual means. I'm breaking the syllables. I divide you all. Ain't that
Mm.
something?
Mm, mm, mm.
Individual means I, divide, you, all. Wow. When I
That
found
is
that out, I
powerful.
said,
That's
wow.
wow. That's wow. That's wow.
Ain't that well?
That is so wow. You can't get out of that one. I'm
No,
glad
you
you came
sure?
and said these words for us.
Yeah. You can't get out of that until we do what we need to do, y'all. Like Wallace said, we got to decay. This is what they kept from us all these years. We supposed to been knowing this stuff when we turned 18, but they kept it from us.
Mm.
They ain't taught it to us. We learn it now. But you got to change your mindset. You got to get out of that slave mentality. We got to be deprogrammed and reconditioned all over again, y'all.
Yeah, so Wallace, sorry, I don't know if the question now fits into the topic, but when you have your sole prop, which is a business, and you have your trust, so you're a trustee, at which point are you operating in regards with connection to the IRS, with Treasury? In which step are you operating as trustee, and when are you just a sole prop business owner? So are you always operating as the trustee, or are you sometimes only operating as the sole prop, the business?
I want to ask a question too, Wallace.
No problem. I want to answer all those questions, but I want to make sure that you all start with the individual, right? So let's get to the just get to the beginning, right? So the individual is on the left side. So if you're on the left side, that's the individual. I just want to bring that out first. So then we got to the question. So go ahead with the question again. How do you get to the who went first? I think it was Bobby. What is that question again?
Yeah, so you said you always start with the individual, but when you have your sole prop and you activated his own business, you still in some way operate as an individual, which I don't really understand because I have the business. I should operate as a business owner. Is it? Yeah, I
Well,
don't really.
that answer I gave earlier is a grantor once this is done, and who claims the funds is your living soul. Your living soul as trustee. So that's what claims the funds. That's the sole proprietor. So your individual can't claim the funds. Hope that adds up to you. You have the sole proprietor that claims the funds, not the individual.
Yeah, so how would you speak about yourself? Let's say you claimed your taxes as a business, as a sole prop, you amended the taxes or you filed the taxes. And how would you talk? Who are you? So you would talk to the IRS as the grantor or as you would just talk as the sole prop. Hey, I filed my taxes as sole prop. And what are their updates?
Yeah, that's a great question, and we're gonna get to that. I'm gonna read four more to that to you, then I'm gonna answer all those questions with sources. I'm gonna let
Okay,
I'm gonna let Blue Nova get his
yes.
comment in, but I'll be able to answer your questions easily with sources in just a few.
Okay, I was looking at my transcripts, and I've been dealing with you for a minute, Wallace, and I did some things before I met you. So I had a sole prop on deck with the EIN. And then I did the process that Mr. Wallace showed us. And I got another sole prop. So I looked at them on the transcripts online and I was trying to see what the difference is. I got two different EINs. And then I saw it has on there sort name, and I can't remember the other one, category name or something. But on the sole prop, it's a trust. That's what they got it listed as a trust. So when you're writing your name down or opening up an account, as soon as you say business account and as soon as they ask you what type and you say sole prop, you acting in that capacity. But you truly acting in that capacity with your signature. If I just wrote my name with nothing behind it, that's probably the individual. But every time I write my name with a comma, TTEE, is the trustee automatically, and you know it's the sole prop. So maybe Bobby, every time you want to think about when am I using the sole prop or when am I using the individual, It's gonna come down to what type of account it is and your signature.
Yeah, okay.
That's right. That's some good knowledge. Exactly how you got to sign. But at the end of the day, the way you sign the documents shows what you are. So this is how we think. Even if we autograph it and I put TTEE or I have a nice autograph, that's the same thing. But we do know for sure the individual does not have power to claim unless he or she or a corporation is listed as a trustee of a trust.
Exactly.
So you would always sign STTEE in regards to the treasury?
Well, I mean, your docs will precede you anyway. They're still going to check. Even if you sign, they're going to check and see.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So this isn't a hiding game. This is like,
Mm.
at this point, we're not hiding. That's why this is difficult for a lot of us to get started with the revocable trust side. And then you have to claim the social. It's everything. I'm going to show you how it's all things and how you're going to be the one who's in charge. Go ahead, Queen Mother. Then we're going to get to the sources. I'm going to give you all the sources where we're going to show all these offices.
No, I'm all right, Wallace.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
So this is not, let me say, this usually means the corporation gives power to the individual rather than the individual gain power as a sole responsible party. So that's what your goal is. You want to become a sole responsible party. Now we understand that this is something that's new to our minds, but the individual side is more in our mind. It's a mindset. It's not a document. At this point, see, look, because once you get into individual gains, we understand that the individual gains will be taxed. So you can't use all the money because the money will be taxed because it's on the individual side. So that's why the corporation has jurisdiction and they can tell you how much money can sit in the bank and how much money can come out and so on. So that'll prove to you that you're on the individual side. The next part is the power of the sole responsible party is going to open up more of a different type of account or how much funds are coming inside a certain account. That brings you as a sole responsible party. Exactly. This is not easily explained and taught by the corporation itself. That's right. So the matrix system is not going to teach you how to come out. It doesn't have a program listed in it to show you how to do it. This is something that you have to come out. You have to come out of the system this way because the corporations they can't teach you how to do it. They don't even know how to do it. Right. So this is a detail I want to really say. This is not easily explained. So there are no gurus or anyone who has fully been able to do this because this whole thing can't be taught. You're not able to teach this knowledge as if you are able to pass it as a document. The corporation can't do it either. So the way to do this, it requires study to properly structure all things. That's everything that you have. Like you all got great knowledge in the beginning of this call, just as a testimonial that we didn't even plan. But your whole structure has to be all things without the United States. So it means you got to learn how to live without the United States. Next is United Nations. Look at that. See, the United Nations. You got to learn how to live without United Nations. And last but not least, or world banking systems. Same thing. So you got to be able to come out of the world banking system that they have set you up with on the individual side. All right. Any comments or thoughts or questions to this? This is why this is not easily taught, easily explained. There is no one who has been able to fully find this out. It is impossible. Go ahead, Franz.
Thank you. So you meaning because I have noticed this very different angles to do some kind of things. This empire, national, assume name. Some say you must stay with the assumed name of the sole proprietor is the best way because then you control you. If
Correct.
you go, if you do the national, the problem because it's not problem. You can live a struggle yourself, but and even if you have the right to get help from the authorities or hospital, they will like ignore you. So that was one thing I was thinking how this, because I didn't know the all the dots and all. Sometimes it feels like it's like they are selling walls of a mansion, but I will never come to the mansion. And one other thing I was thinking, because especially in Sweden, they don't accept trust, or they accept trust, but um, they don't. They must first look at it because the construction they don't like it, because it's too good. So they have another thing called stiftelse, but this is not private. This is public. But I found a way to do trust anyway, like in the way you do it in Louisiana.
Hmm.
Because I spoke with a friend I have in Denmark that has a house in Sweden, and she had put the house in. She write trust, but when I look at it, it's like testament, guardianship. It's different words, but the same goal. And after 10, 15 years, they try to take the like what are they called? The people that
The
not the
for
debt,
the
that
property
that
seizure.
yes, the property seizure after 10, 15 years to send her a letter like, hello, you have not paid taxes. And she started to fight with them, but in the finally they give up because
Mhm.
she make another firm, like a artificial firm, a juristical firm that like agent for her about their client has been treated out of the government. Now they want to sue the government or these persons that working there, and in the final they drop it. So now it's confirmed again that trust works here in Sweden. In Sweden, even if the IRS here say it don't works,
Well,
but
it'll work because they always have to create they're trying to create a claim, and then you'll understand, like, as they try to create the claim usually goes away
yeah,
because of they're checking they're really checking to see if this
no,
person is an individual, I believe,
yeah,
or is still in some form on the personal side. That's what
yeah.
I think they're checking.
So they are new. Because she sent them police notes. Police didn't respond. They don't give it. And then she said something. I gonna sue you personally with the middle score of what you lost to the two persons that was involved in that, and then they closed the case directly. It's like when she did it personal to them, to the
Right,
second.
right. So that's basically just giving a notice to each of the people that is on the case. That's what we
Yes.
spoke of earlier. So we get maybe the attorneys on the case. Maybe there's witnesses as officers that are on the case. Maybe there's, um, you know, whatever, a doctor.
Yeah, but the thing.
These are people.
Yes.
Yes. Now these are the people that can be on the case.
So I had one question more about, maybe we can take it later if you want, or I can take it now.
Well, let's go and take it later because I'm gonna go ahead and give you all these sources of knowledge because where you're gonna get to this point is like how do you make sure that you can study the right structure to get yourself out of the United States, the United Nations, or the world banking systems?
Yeah.
Because even if you're in Sweden, even if you're using the banking system, it's a whole nother layer of where your accounts have to be created too. So we're going to discuss some of the websites and sources that work over here because in your location, it'll be the IMF website rather
Yeah.
than the IRS website, right?
Yes.
So that'll be the layer that we'll talk about later on another call because that's going to get us on our international talk.
Yes.
So it's all connected, but we want to make sure that you understand the IRS because it's the same entity. They just have an international headquarter that they call the IMF. So they're
Okay.
technically the same people and they're operating right here from the United States. Well, I can't say they're the same people. There's people overseas who are hired that work in those areas that help, because they signed the agreement to be part of the IMF. That's why if we find the country on the IMF, that country is under the same laws and rules and jurisdiction of the IRS. So that's our first office for source. Any thoughts or questions last? Anyone else had a thought or question on what we discussed so far? I think I've seen a few people. Okay, so I think our first source office I wanted to talk about is our government offices. Your first government office that you were never taught about, and I know it's hard to accept because I never was taught about it either, even though I went to college or I have a diploma, or you can be a doctor, right? You could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer. We have lawyers in our network as well that say they don't even know a lot of this knowledge either. So the Treasury office is the first place that you all never knew about. I never knew about it either. So that's your first office that you're actually going to give knowledge of being a trust. And we're going to say this is your revocable living trust that's communicating with them. This is the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, the IMF, etc. And that person who you're supposed to talk to, I know that people don't tell y'all these answers because they don't know or they don't have the sources. But this is the source. The person who you're supposed to talk to, if you're dealing with trust, is the treasurer. All right. So if it's not the treasurer, then you all have been talking to the wrong person the entire time. It's not the secretary of the treasury. It's not the secretary of the treasury. Go ahead, Raymond. I see your hand.
So earlier when I was asking about the other office similar to the general attorney, I mentioned child support, but I misspoke, and it was the treasury that I was thinking of, but I said the wrong thing. So they need to be notified, or the treasury is notified through the tax filing of the different forms when you do the
Right.
claims.
There you go. That's what we're saying. Everything that we're talking about right now from here on out is a claim. You're going to all these offices that I have as sources that you all are supposed to make your claims. What is your claim? Your claim is you're listed as a trustee of a trust. You're not an individual no more. You're not going to be out here getting individual gain. That's the proof. That's really all you can do. Then you live by it, right? So we're going to prove this by showing that everybody who's in the trust, you're going to be a sole proprietor as we go through a lot of these offices. I'm going to prove and show this with the links that we have right here. So the Internal Revenue Service is who you talk to. When you're talking to the Treasury office, they're just going to send you down to another servicer that they use. So you're not going to just talk to the Treasury, just for those who thought they can just go talk straight to the Treasury office. You're not able to just straightly talk to them or the treasurer. They're going to always send you to their people. So the people they always send you to is the Internal Revenue Service. That's the IRS and the IMF that we just talked about. We know that the treasurer is over the bep.gov. That's why I went over this website in the past. So if you don't know this bep.gov website, I'll go over this just briefly. But this is where we know all the money is coming from. I'm going to click on this because this is my source to show you the revocable trust is where I got this information from. I didn't get this from any person or anybody else. I studied to know where the source is coming from of what the government is saying that you're supposed to do with the trust. So right here, you go to Treasury Direct. I clicked on this link for you all. If you want to get this link later, I'll send it in the chat for you. But just watch the video because it's the same exact information. So you go to treasurydirect.gov, you go to your forms, and you'll see the form that tells you questions and answers about trust. Let me tell you what the Treasury says. What is a trust? All right, so a trust is a real or personal property. Let me give you all this link real quick in the chat so you can see this in the chat. All right, so what is a trust? A trust is real or personal property held by one party for the benefit of another or oneself. A trust can be created for any purpose as long as it's not illegal. Look at that. So you can't create a illegal trust. The trust got to be following the law, right? So as soon as the trust no longer follows the law, they don't cover you through their rules. or does not go against public policy. That means it can't go against their public policy the way they say you're supposed to be polite. You can't go against their public policy. You can't go in cussing these people out in their office, telling them what they need to do, and if they don't do it, this and that. So your trust has to be done accordingly. Does not go against, because that brings you on the individual side when you create controversies. That's all it breaks down to. A trust must have a specific purpose, right? So we write your purpose in the revocable trust. It does say it. So when you read your revocable trust, it does tell you your purpose. Like, so when people say, I don't have a purpose, yes, you do. If you got a revocable trust, you have a purpose. A designated beneficiary. Look at this. So that means who is the beneficiary of this trust? Who's benefiting from this revocable trust? A specific duties. Right here, duties, and that's your job. That means that you're going to work. Specific duties for the trustee as designated by who? The grantor. So all this is word for word the answer that you're getting directly from the Treasury. You don't want to get all your answers from other people. You want to get your answers from the source. Every trust has the following. The person creating the trust called a what? A grantor. That's who's creating the trust. The person who creating the trust is a grantor. So that's your new position you just became. You just became a grantor. The next position you just became is a trustor. So that means you can be trusted because you're a trustor. The next one is a settler. So that means if you're in court, your job is to settle all your court cases. Settle the cases. And last is a maker. That means you become a maker. Whatever that is, whether you're a homemaker, whether you're a bake maker, a food maker, whatever that is. So this is what they say. The party the grantor names in the trust to care, that means you got to take care for and manage the trust property, called a trustee. There may be one or several trustees. The trustee may be an individual or a corporation. Look at that. So this individual becomes, like I was telling you, is becoming this trustee. So they're telling you the answer. They're saying, hey, you're no longer going to become this individual if you become this. Or we're going to have our corporation people pop up and manage it for you until you do it. So that's the way they see it. They already have a fail-safe for the program that if you don't do it, they automatically have the corporation trustee that's coming in that I'll be talking about a little bit. The party for whose benefit the trust was created is called the beneficiary. So it was created for your benefit and your benefit of your heirs and all the people that's in your household. The beneficiary receives the income from the trust. That's right. So all the money is distributed to the beneficiary and or beneficiaries. So that's all the income that's from the trust. That's the money, that's the cash, that's the credit. All that fund, all those funds go out to the beneficiaries. The grantor, trustee, and beneficiary may be the what? Same person. So who said this? I didn't say this. This is what the Treasury said. The Treasury said when you got this revocable living trust, this is the answer. They're not going to tell you it's a revocable living trust, but they're going to show you that the grantor, the trustee, and beneficiary may be the same person. That's the only trust that you can do that on. Every other trust, you can only play two parts. You can't play all three parts in every other trust. That's why we call those complex trusts, or we call those other trusts. So if anybody have thoughts and questions on this, I want to make sure you see this is why the revocable trust allows you to play all three parts. But as far as the trust is concerned, they are three separate entities. Aha. So those three separate entities are being also created. There are two types of trust, and I'm going to stop here. I'm not going to go into the details of these types of trust, but I just want to show you as far as this documentation. The first trust is a personal trust. The second trust is a testamentary trust. All right, so that is your studies for this week. I want y'all to look into those trusts. Those two types of trust. That's the personal trust, and then you got your testamentary trust. And I want y'all to see what that fits in under what we're gonna call the revocable trust. Next question is, what is a trust instrument? And I'll be stopping this from here as well. A trust instrument is a document that sets out in writing. So that's why I was telling you from the beginning that you need to make sure that or I was instructing, or I was giving knowledge or sharing with you from the beginning that this is where your authority is coming from. It's you. You're the one that has the authority. A trust instrument is the document that sets out in writing the authority, duties, and rights of the parties involved. The trust instrument may also be known as an agreement. That's your trust agreement. All right. So that is where you are when you get to that point where you see the trust agreement that you created, the indentured trust. Some of us know about the indentured trust, the declaration of trust, right? The declaration of trust. They'll say that's your certificate of trust or your declaration of the trust, or the deed. That's right. So your trust deed, those are all trust instruments. In the case of a testamentary trust, for example, the trust instrument is the decedent's will. Okay, so they already told you the testamentary trust is going right into the decedent's will. So I close from this right here this week with the first office and where you get your knowledge and information about a trust. You also see this as publication FS publication 0049, Department of the Treasury, Bureau of Fiscal Service. They've been saying this has been active since 2015. So just making sure that your trust aligns with this knowledge right here. This is this office that you're giving your revocable trust to. And by giving this office your trust, this is going to give you everything. Oh, apologies, I need to show you what I was reading. All right. Okay, here we go. So this is showing what I'm reading right here. I want to make sure you all got your questions and answers about trust. I got this from publication. That's right here, where you're going to give your revocable trust over to this office, which is the Treasury. Our next office we have is, I'll give you a sub office to show you what this office is dealing with. This is your bep.gov. Maybe stop sharing and share it back with you again. I want y'all to go to bep.gov. That's the Treasury.
BEP.
Yes, bep.gov. That's your treasurer. So that's the person in charge of the money. That's the person in charge of all the Federal Reserve notes and all that stuff. So don't be fooled of who's not in charge of the cash or the money. Right. So and you got all these different people you can call based upon all these situations that you have. You want to deal with the Treasury. They give you all your government sites that you can also connect with. And they're also in charge of the fine sin. See, they got a new department for y'all, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. They call it the Fine Sin Department. Next is the Internal Revenue Service, Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, and the U.S. Mint. So these are the places that you see the Treasury. They're all connected with all these different things. So I wanted to shortly go over this one right here because some of us, maybe the first time we saw where all the money comes from and how they print the money and how they give you the money that you're going to use so that when you file your tax return, the money's coming from your Treasury. There's no way that you all got money that didn't come from the Treasury. It's almost impossible. So I'm giving you all this proof right here, showing you this right here to kind of give you all the research to show where you can go to it yourself, where this is your sub website called the bep.gov. All right, so this helps with anyone that's new to this knowledge. They got different notes that you can buy, and they print them out for you, and you're able to cut them. So you can be your own bank right now today. And the bank does this service for you. That's why you all go to the bank. They got an ATM system for you. They got a teller or they got a cashier. They money counter. But if you bought those same tools, you'll be your own bank too. But that's why I'm breaking this down to show us how some of us are still trying to grab the bank account, but we're not even ready for the bank account yet. You're not ready for the money just popping up in the bank. And we'll talk about this because that gets you on the individual side as quick as possible when you're trying to hurry up and grab the money or the treasury checks and they go straight into the bank account. Okay, so this is very important that we see how it's layered from the BEP, which is the treasurer. So this is your important person that is in charge of where the money's coming from. Any questions or thoughts on the where the money's coming from? Next, who's in charge of your money when the money is sent? Now I'm going to prove to you that nobody can get past this next person because the treasury already proved to you they're going to send the money to your trust account. They're going to send the money to you as a trust. Next is my next one on the diagram is the Social Security Office. Now I'm going to prove that the Social Security Office is the trust account and they're in charge to determine if you are going to stay the individual or if you are going to go into the trust side, we'll say. So we want to make sure that you're getting on the trust side as easy as possible. Don't make it difficult because it's not hard to come out. It's just hard because we never learned about these offices. So this office I went over first was the Treasury Office. This is a United States government office. Everybody has to know about it, whether we know about it or not. I didn't create the rules. I didn't create the office. Next is the Social Security Office. Yes, you got to know about the Social Security Office in and out. You should be studying them every day until you figure out everything they got going on. So when people say, I don't know what I got to do, I don't know what I got going on. Well, look, you already know the answer. You just have to take the time and do it. So the social word is the first word I'm going to go over today to show you that's your social. Everything that's social for you. You know, that's your social. Then you got your security. So when they ask you for your social, they're actually asking you for your benefits. But you don't know this when you give them the authorization over the phone. All right. So that's your office right here. I'm going to show you about trust. So what they get is what they have over the trust right now, which is your social security card trust. They have guardian, they have custodian, they have recipient, they have the trust fund. I keep hearing a mic in the background. A guardian, a custodianship. They have recipient. They have the trust fund. They're over the trust fund. They're over the social, which is everything that's in the social. They're over the medical, right? They're over the housing. They're over the clothing, the resources, the transportation, the utilities, the credit, the businesses, and so on. You guys can't tell me this Social Security office isn't over all those things. It makes everywhere you go, they're gonna ask you for that social, aren't they?
Yep.
Especially if they're helping you. If they're gonna give you some clothes, they're gonna ask you for that name and that social.
Wow.
Transportation. Don't tell me when you go to the car lot you didn't give them the name and the social. Please let me know. Some of us may have said, "Well, I used the EIN," but you use the name and the social to get the EIN, right? You use the name and the social to get the EIN, right? So they're over the trust fund. It's been there the whole time. They haven't hidden it from you. They just got a lot of people that was telling you to go do it a different way, but they're telling you right here that they're over all the funds that the Treasury just sent over. Then they hire other people under them because they started doing an agreement. What I'm going to show you with these other offices in a few. So this is your all expense included service office for your trust account managed and controlled by the United States. Mm-hmm. And they say, I got denied for my Social Security. Somebody will tell me I got denied. Who told you you got denied? You see what I'm saying? These are the things they'll tell us. They would discourage us from going to the Social Security office. They'll say, hey, you know, they deny you the first 5, 10 times. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why am I getting denied before I walk in the door? But like I say, these are rumors. We don't want people to believe in these things. We want you to come out of those things. So when you get back into the office, you want to use this office, seeing it and utilizing it through the revocable living trust. So this is where you'll get all your benefits through this right here. And we'll explain more as we go. This office works directly under the treasurer of the treasury. That's right. So this office works directly with the treasurer of the treasury because these funds are coming from the treasurer. And when the treasurer distributes those funds to the trust account of the Social Security office that has your name and number on it, they're over those funds. And then those funds to get approval. It says the treasurer of the treasury to get approvals for distribution of the funds. Also, cash money checks to be deposited in the Social Security number account. That's right. So even those treasury checks, there's no way you can grab the treasury check without the Social Security office checking to see if your name receives that money. So Social Security office sees the funds coming in from the treasury checks also. That's why they call it the transcripts. So the tax transcripts, the Social Security office is over the tax transcripts. So it's starting to all make sense, but I just want to give you all the layers of where the knowledge and information is coming from. So let me go to your link in the source of where I got all this information from and where it tells you about trust. Now I'm gonna read about it a little bit, then I'm gonna show you on the screen. Because I didn't show the screen last time. I forgot. I'm gonna send the link to you. So this is the link right here. This is your spotlights on trust coming straight from the Social Security Administration office. This is the place where you want to get your information or your source of a trust. So if you can't see what I read, then go ahead and click on the links. This will get you access to the links so that you can see where the source and the information knowledge is coming from. So I'll read just a little bit. As you can see, this is the Social Security website. This is the official website of the United States government. They're going to tell you as of January 1st, 2000, the supplementary Social Security income law on trust changed. So they updated the law based on, I guess, the trust. What is a trust? A trust is a legal arrangement regulated by state law in which one party holds property for the benefit of another. In certain situations, a trust can be set up for an SSI recipient. Look at this. So now all of a sudden, a recipient is this person who's getting the Social Security income. And we already know the word recipient is on certain tax documents as well. A trust can contain what? Cash, as we talked about. That's why they said cash. That's all they stopped at. A trust can contain cash or other liquid assets. That's right, liquidity. They didn't say anything about something that's trying to get funded, or we're waiting for the cash to come. That's not fully there. Right. So they're gonna deal with the liquid assets, the cash. It says and real or personal property that could be turned into what? Cash. Look at this. This is coming straight from the Social Security office. I want to make sure y'all fully grasp where this is coming from. So the Social Security office see only anything that's available in your account because it got to be turned into cash. Now I'm going to go to where you find revocable trust because this is where we found revocable trust. So it says, how does a trust affect my SSI benefits? So it means your Social Security income benefits. If you use your assets to establish a trust after January 1st, 2000, generally the trust will count as your resource for SSI. So it means your trust will count as a resource. So you got to understand what that means. In the case of the revocable trust, the whole trust is your resource. Here we go. So this is why the instrument has to go to the Social Security office, because that's your resource now. That's what I'll stop right here with this one, because this right here in itself is just enough, coming straight from the IRS. I'm sorry, not IRS this time, the Social Security office. Then they give me out a 2025 edition right here. Spotlights on trust. So any comments or thoughts or questions on this Social Security Administration office, that you're going to go in and deal with those different account, we'll say.
So,
May
so
I say something, Wallace?
Go ahead, go ahead. I'm listening.
I sent my docs to the Social Security Department, and they sent me a letter back saying that I'm not authorized to stop my Social Security payments.
No problem. Everyone has a unique situation. So like I say, they're going to basically look through everything and see if you're on the individual side. And until those individual things are cleared up, they will continually work with that until that's updated. So I hope that helps with the process that you're looking to do, because you have to eventually move everything, all the benefits, into the revocable trust.
so Wallace, so that's how we will dealing with see, I'm disabled and on disability and SSI. So that's how we would deal with the Social Security, to put everything in a revocable living trust, and to send all the paperwork into the Social Security for that change. For me, no, for individual, for it to be taken out of the individual and then put it in the trust. That's
Right.
what you're
No,
saying.
it's gonna be a lot simpler.
Oh,
Your trust instrument is what gives you this legal arrangement
oh,
to
okay.
do this, right? So all you have to do is prove you have the document or the trust set up, right?
Oh,
The next
okay.
step is your accounting. So that's your
Okay.
routing and account number. That's where we get into the nitty gritty, because
Oh,
they told you.
to where I got the account open up at. That's what you're
Well,
talking about.
there you go. It says where all the cash
Oh,
or
okay.
other liquid assets are
Oh,
going,
okay. Because
right? So
I do have a trust account open at a bank. I do have that.
right, but that's going to be what I'll talk about later.
Oh,
That's going to
good.
be on the
Okay.
that's going to be on the right side. So I'm
Oh,
saying that we got people that are going on the left and we got people that are going on the right.
okay.
So I'm going to prove this today of where this is saying the Social
Okay.
Security office is saying your cash or other liquid assets is where the Social Security office is holding that money.
So I want to ask you this. So until we do this, we're still going to be on the individual side and still going to be doing as if we debtors and all this other how they have us already until we make this change. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the debtor part is something different. They're just
Okay.
in charge over the funds. I'm
The
just giving
funds.
you the
Okay.
office of where all the funds went,
Okay.
right? When you went when the treasurer sent the money. So the treasurer's like, okay, great. I see the name of the person. I see the name, the number here. Okay, great.
Hmm.
We're gonna distribute those funds to that person, right?
Okay.
Once those funds are distributed, the social's office is they're not, they're over those funds now. And then it's up, we have to do something to get access to those funds, right?
Right. Exactly.
That's where it gets difficult for us to accept this part, because this office is where the money came in at. Now I'm
Right.
gonna prove to you who gets access to that money
Okay.
next, because these are the trustees. These are the ones that are gonna get access to the money
Right.
because they know how to do it.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
don't know how to do it yet, and that's
No,
what we're
we
going to
don't.
talk about as
Okay.
we go, because I'm walking y'all through these offices while you're giving the trust
Mhm.
information so that you can begin to trust yourself.
Okay.
Really, all of us, we have to begin to trust
Yeah,
ourselves.
you're right because we have to learn this ourselves. Exactly.
You're not going to get this knowledge from a person.
No, you're
It's,
not.
it's not going to work. You got to learn, you
Can
got
I
to
say
study
something?
this.
Can I say
Yes, go
something?
ahead. Yes, go ahead, Greg.
That letter they sent me, it says right on the letter, individuals cannot voluntarily end their
Uh huh.
participation in the program. And that the reason they said that like that is because I haven't filed for, as a sole prop right now.
Well, I don't know if that's just it. You got to remember, They are the guardian, the custodian, the recipient. They got the trust fund. They're dealing with your social, your medical. You know, you can't even go to the hospital without the social name and number.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? This is interesting. The housing. You can't apply for a house. You can't get real estate without a social name and number.
Hmm.
All right, clothing, all these things. So I was getting into the layer. We got Fran's hand. I see your hand too. But let me get to this next office to show y'all who the trustees are. So we keep our comments and questions as short as we can. We'll get to the trustees. I want to show y'all who's in control of this money too. Go ahead, Franz. I see your hand.
Thanks. No, I was wondering that if that applied for me from Sweden too to this homepage that you
Right,
showed.
right. It'll be your social office in Sweden. Right, your social service office. They're the ones in charge of the funds. They're the custodians over the children's funds. They're the custodians over the beneficiaries as well. We'll talk about that later, that how they have access to our children's accounts too.
Okay, and what did you call the social? Uh,
Yeah, in USA they call it the Social Security Office, the SSA office.
okay, okay.
All right.
Hey, Brother Rose.
Absolutely.
So they'll go.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Madu DL. Have your comment, and I'll jump in y'all to the trustees. I'm going to show y'all who is in charge as well.
Did you get my, I took a picture of a screenshot of the, 56, Form 56, I sent it to your email.
Yeah, this isn't the time for that at this point. We're gonna get to how you can't even get to the 56 yet until we get to this understanding of where these offices that you're dealing with that has the money. So even with the 56 is turned in, remember
Yeah,
the treasury gave all those monies. That's why I want to make sure we walked everybody down. Like the IRS is on point. We great. We got everything turned into the treasury. That's great.
right,
Now the Social Security office has your funds. All right.
right,
You feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
So this is the part that we all have to start studying, the Social Security office or the social office that has access to all these amenities that we supposed to get access to because we have a trust now.
okay, yeah, I understand.
You see where I'm going? Because they got the social name and number, and those distributions of those funds are going to that what? Social name and number. So there's no way around these guys. But the next layer I want to show is just want to I'm gonna walk you into the 56 a little later. I want to give y'all some more details that's outside of taxes, outside of the treasury right now. Right. So the treasury is really working for you. They're not really above you. You're above the treasury. Next is your state office or your country office. We're gonna start saying your state or your country. Let me write that in there too, /country. Because it could be another country. It's the same thing in America. Our states are like countries. All right, so your state or country office. And this is your all expense paid attorney and lawyers of the trust name and number listed on the account. This ranges from all categories of business and personal. And then we got your listed people that I'll tell you that you're not communicating with. And the first one that we have as a communication is the attorney general. That's your communication bearer with your trust. Your next one is your state attorney. These are trustees. These are your trustees over that Social Security office, y'all. That's why they're so adamant about those cases. They got to get access to the funds because it's a case number. So the attorney general's office, the state attorney office, the county attorney, the county attorney. That's right. The county jail, the county court, the county. That's the county. Y'all don't ever talk to the county attorney. That's another person important. The city attorney. Look at that. The city attorney, the city commissions, the city mayor, the city police. All right. But y'all not talking to the city attorney. That's the one in charge of y'all police. And last but not least, the most powerful one is the private attorney. The private attorney can go into all matters. Private attorney. So these are the places that are already paid for those offices that you all are supposed to use the trust in. So when you utilize this trust, they want to see you do it the way that they have prescribed for you. So I'm going to give you my example in Florida. But I wanted to give you how they know they're the trustees and how we are the ones that's supposed to take the power back from the state. You're the one that's taking the power from these trustees. All right. So this is how it looks to me in Florida right here. This is where you see the word revocable trust in Florida. So the Florida bar gives you this information, this knowledge, and they say, look, you have to come and take this trustee position from me. Right? I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not just going to give you the trust. All right? So you see the law is telling you in the look, they got it written in the statutes in Florida. They're not even playing. So you know it's real. So the revocable or living trust is often promoted as a means of avoiding probate, which is true. It is promoted. We want to avoid court. We want to avoid probate and saving taxes at death, and it's governed by Chapter 736 Florida statutes. That's right. So we don't want taxes to be going over to my children, to my kinfolk, to my people, as a time that we all move on from this earth. That's what they say. They say that all those debts and all those bills go upon the beneficiaries or the children. So that's why the revocable trust is also very important for us to do today and do it right now. And it's governed by the chapter. So I'm giving y'all, this is coming straight from these attorneys' offices. And I guarantee in your state, you'll find similar things too, or your country. You just got to find the law that it talks about the revocable trust. Revocable trust has certain advantages over a traditional will. Some of us would say, well, my granddaddy and my grandmama already got a will. I already got a will. I don't have to do the trust. Well, they just told you that this revocable trust is advantageous more over a traditional will. So you have to go through this in a meticulous way to see why you're reading through the knowledge, or you're getting it explained, or you at least trust the people that's around you so that you can do this. So I'm not going to read through all this. I'm just giving y'all some of the info of what it shows, how it goes through all these knowledges in different places, and where you can deal with feeling comfortable of how you know you can claim your money back from your taxes. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm still talking about how I feel comfortable claiming my money back when I file my taxes. And I'm not trying to do something that's so over embellishing, trying to get back millions of dollars or something. Let's just focus on your bills. Try to get back at least enough money to pay off your bills. Pay your bills off for the whole year. Try to live a little easy without worrying about those bills. Right? Don't try to grab a whole bunch of cash and you got a whole bunch of money left over and you're like an individual now, because it's going to sit on your individual side. You're not going to do it right, because how are you going to get rid of all the money? This is very important. I'm telling you, this is why they have these layers here to prove to you when they get to this, who pays federal income tax. So I went into this right here and I read this. I thought this was very interesting how they say who's going to pay that federal income tax on those funds that come into that account. But right here it says, for most instances, the revocable trust is ignored for federal income tax purposes. This is what these people said. So the revocable trust is ignored. Right? So that's why we say do the revocable trust. That's why we say have the instrument. That's why we say operate through the revocable trust. Why not operate? Because you are ignored for federal income tax purposes. But if you're not, then this means they looking at you. This means they have their eyes on you. This is how you on the individual side, because the individual has a whole bunch of money now, and they're gonna come after those taxes. It's why it's so hard to have millions of dollars sitting inside a bank account. And this is during the grantor's lifetime. So that means for the lifetime of you walking around, this is how long this is going to happen. And guess what they're going to do? Even though we try to tell them documents, I send in affidavits, I send in saying, no, you can't do that. You can't report that on the individual. You can't report it. Guess what they're going to do anyway? It says the income deductions are reported directly on your individual income tax return. That's right. So them people still gonna send that W-2. They're still gonna send the 1099. Even though you told them, look, I'm not on the individual side no more. This is why this is important, because you have to be able to maneuver through the straight way. Don't just go to the right side, because the trust doesn't always save you. You got to save yourself. So don't bank everything on the trust, because these people are uniquely still reporting it, even though you got this trust, some way, somehow, in your individual income. And we'll get to the answer, the remedy later. That's why I was trying to go to where this knowledge was coming from, where they're looking at it, and how if you are in the court, or if you are dealing with a corporation or a bank or anything, right? That's why you want to make sure that you're not on the individual side, and you're more looking at yourself as a sole trustee, right? So it's going to be the soul. You're going to save your soul. This will make more sense to you as you get and use a social security card and a social security number. So the trust will use your social security number as its tax identification number. Look at this. These people are true. They already told you. They said the trust is going to use your social security number as its TIN. Now I'm going to stop there, because I just wanted to give more details to where this knowledge is coming from the trustee office that they have in place that's getting access to the funds with the Social Security office. So that is how they're getting access to your funds, and they file those tax returns with your social on there too. And we'll get into how they get access to the beneficial interest. So at this point in time, if you're on the individual side, it'll still be difficult for you to claim the beneficial interest if you can't face the attorney general, if you can't face the state attorney, if you can't face the county or the city attorney or the private attorneys. It's very important for y'all to see this from that perspective. Like I say, the Treasury's done their job. They don't gave it over. It's like, okay, I trust these guys. Social Security office, I've been working with them for years. They would never do that to me. That's how they trust the Social Security office, y'all. So all the funds are always managed by them. Next is the Social Security office is like, hey, I trust these guys. They're my trustees. They go straight to the state, or they go straight to your country's offices, and they're in charge. They're in charge of those funds too. They can spend out of that trust account. The attorney general, the state attorney, the county attorney, the city attorney, and the private attorneys, they can spend straight out of your trust account for expenses. That's why they call them legal fees, or lawyer fees, whatever you want to call it. Last is your county office. So I'm going to go to your next office that you deal with on a regular basis. You just didn't realize that this is part of your claims. So this is where you actually create all your claims at. This would be in your county office right here. So any comments or thoughts to the trustees of your trust right now? Who are these trustees of your trust? Anybody have any thoughts about the trustees of your trust?
Is these? I have a question, Wallace. Is this um those trustees of the trust? Is this where we send our of our status of us taking hold of being the trustee of of our revocable trust? Is this where we send to those four different attorneys and to the Social Security?
Right, correct. So really, you're taking the power from them,
Yes.
right? So you're not asking them, saying, hey, I'm asking you to step down, right? Let's just think
Right.
about how this will go. Let's just really think about this, y'all.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
I'm asking you to leave the office of my name, right? This, do you really think they're gonna just do it? They're the trustees. They're like, hey, I'm a trustee. You got to kick me out. You got to terminate my power.
Exactly. Yeah. We have to revoke their
There you
power.
go.
Got to
That's right.
revoke. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
The trust instrument just doesn't revoke them out. The trust instrument just says, okay, thank you. We're still
Right.
your trustees, right? We're still cool, right? Cool.
Yeah. We have to. We have to send to them to null and void that office. That The trustee handle it.
However, right, however that looks, I'm
Uh
just
huh.
going into there's something that we do.
Oh,
So
okay.
one of the things that I did, I filed the 1041. So
Okay.
one of the ways that I proved that I was taking over the office was that I became the fiduciary. So
Right.
that's one of the layers that I wanted to prove some of these things. If y'all stay on the social side and you don't get on the trust side, you can't really prove that fiduciary power. You can't even prove the fiduciary because you may receive the funds in the bank account on the social, but who's in charge of the social funds?
Exactly. You're right. Okay.
I got you. You see we see where everybody's following this. We see why we talk about the 1041
Yes.
and the 1040. How
Oh,
can you prove? Does anybody have any thoughts to this part? Because some of us may have reservations. Like, why do I have to do this? I don't need to do this.
I want to ask you. So on Tax Act, you can put like what I'm looking at now, fiduciary. You can put in there that you the fiduciary on Tax Act when you do the tax
That is
form.
correct.
Oh
Because
wow.
I am the fiduciary. I am
Okay.
filing the 1041
Okay.
as the living trust.
Hmm.
Only I can file the 1041.
Right.
Also, you showed us documentation where it told us the revocable trust would use the SSN when it files and identifies itself. They just told us how to
Yeah.
identify ourselves by filing them taxes, that 1040,
Hmm.
Yeah.
that Schedule C, and the
Hmm.
1041. We just following the instructions. Wallace didn't say it. He
Oh.
showed us. They said it. He said it. These
Oh
people were
yeah.
tripped.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
said it right there.
Yeah. They did. Yeah, I seen it. Okay.
Thank you, Bruno, for there because he's taking the courses. He's understanding.
Okay,
He's seeing.
Blue
We're
Nova.
learning more
Thank
every
you for
time we
that.
do this. Yeah, absolutely. So you got to prove beyond
Yeah.
what you know that you're the fiduciary, and your social
Exactly.
security number is what the fiduciary. That's what it says.
Yeah. I read. Yeah. When you had it up there. Yeah.
That's why I have to show the screen because I can say it, but you got to know where you're typing that information in.
Exactly.
Where is it being typed in? Where is it going to be filed? Where is it going to be put at to prove that you are what you said you are?
And
Exactly.
when we in front of these people and talking to them on the
Mhm.
phone and they asking us questions,
Mhm.
we got it from you guys. That's
Yeah.
why we doing this.
Hmm.
Exactly. You're right. You're right.
But some of us, we got to feel confident and comfortable with this because, like I said, you're dealing with these offices. Remember, you're taking the power from the trustees. I just mentioned
Right.
the state
Right.
attorney's office. That's right. The criminal department. That's right. They deal with
Right.
criminal cases.
Exactly.
You got to take the power from them.
Take the power back. Mhm.
The
Take the
attorney
power.
general office, the child support people. You know,
Mhm.
the ones that's dealing with all types of other claims against you. You got to take the power from them.
Yeah. Okay.
They work for you now. If that's the power you're taking, you're just putting them under you, behind you.
Exactly.
That's what, see, that's the scripture again. See, going right into the biblical principles.
Yep.
They're supposed to be behind you. Why are they in front of you?
Exactly.
Look at court. Why are they in front of you?
Mm.
Mm, mm, mm.
Wow.
All this time of going to church every day on Sunday, Sunday afternoon, Wednesday, Friday.
Mhm.
When I was a little child, I understand it now. It's coming like a light bulb.
It sure is.
Bible verses, how I relate to these things we read, and it's spiritual.
And you see what the Creator always say? Come out of her, my people, and be ye separate. He been telling us all along.
Preach.
He been telling us, but we didn't know. He been telling us all along.
I
You
think it
can't
wasn't time for us
can't
to
serve
know.
two masters, so you got to pick a side.
Yeah, it's time.
It's time. You right. It is time, y'all. It is.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Praises. All glory to the creator.
Yes.
We
Yeah,
don't get no
great
credit
time
for
to be
none of this.
alive. Great time.
And this is the time is now where all this chaos is going on, all these wars, all this crap going on. It's time for us and these private classes to do what we need to do. Y'all hear what I'm saying? It's time for us to get prepared and do what we need to do.
Absolutely. That's what you're doing.
Because
You're
all
putting
that
on
stuff
your
don't pertain
others.
to us. We were the righteous. We were the creator. We came back to the covenant. You got to come back to the covenant. That's what he's been saying. Get out of my people. Be ye separate. You got to come back to him. He already said we had an inheritance, didn't he? Well, we learning now, aren't we? We doing stuff now, aren't we? He been said we had an inheritance. They've been prepaid, but we just heard all that stuff. Now we seeing it. It's coming to light. But we have to do some things. Like Wallace said, we got to, and that's what he's showing now.
Absolutely. Thank you. I mean, we do got to do some things, and I'm not gonna say it's hard. I'm not gonna say it's difficult. It's just you got to feel and know that you feel like you should be able to get that tax money back.
Exactly.
That's what this is all about. How do I feel like I know that I should get that money back? This is a step-by-step guidance right here that we use. I'm gonna give y'all a quick video. It's a 1-minute video.
Okay.
It's how you scroll through the 1041 software for those who are new to this. You go straight to federal, click on federal, then it takes you through all the options a lot faster. You got your 1099B, that's also on the 1041.
Okay.
Your capital gains, that's also what that is. I'll tell you about the 1099B. Description, all the same information. All right, so when you add those there, they're gonna pop up there. It's just for illustration purposes only.
Right.
All these numbers and things that are showing up. Next is your fiduciary fees. Nobody tells you about fiduciary fees. But this is where all your numbers go for all your money that you had on your social. So all your expenses, all your debts, all your bills, that total number needs to be your fiduciary fee.
Wow.
That's how you activate that amount. And that's your
Wow.
line of credit. That's what I tell people. You have a line of credit that you need to pay off your bills.
Wow.
This is how you get your federal tax paid on fuels. This is how you get your money back for your cash that you paid on gas. Now, some been typing it in the wrong boxes. You don't type it in off-highway business or the other boxes. That's why they flag your tax return. It's supposed to be other non-taxable use. So on a more basic level, y'all should at least get the cash back for the gas that you paid all year. That's on the base level. That's why we go through the tax software, at least for one doing the 1041 for the first time. Now, once you get through the 1041, that's just for information purposes only. Well, most of all your information that takes you out of the individual side, that'll be on your 1040. So that's the only tax form that we've been able to help you do to get you out of the individual side by filing your 1040. Without further ado, I'm going to go through your last offices, and I want to show you straightforward how to go through all these things in like a day or within 7 days. So your next office that we talked about how you're going to take power from these trustees, which is the state and or country office. Whatever country you're in, whatever state you're in, you got to take the power from all those attorneys. Yes, that's it. Power of attorney. That's right. Take the power of attorney from them. There you go. That's the best way to say it. Go ahead, Carlene. I see your hand.
Hi. Once you file the 1040 or the 1041, do you send in like all the receipts of like the gas receipt or the bills, all those documents in with the after you file?
You're supposed to do a 1099 for those gas receipts.
Oh, okay. So you do a 1099. What about the bills? Do you send in all the bills to the IRS, or is it just like once you file it, the 1099 A and B, is that it?
There's no A on the 1041 side, so it'll just be the B.
Okay, so once say the 1041, you file it and that's it. You don't send no documents to the IRS with that?
They don't request documents. The B is the document.
Okay.
It's similar to your W-2. They don't request your pay stubs when you get your W-2, do they?
Because that's the same thing I did, I think was not last year, but the year before that, but they had sent me a letter requesting proof of of me having to file for this credit.
Right. So you send them something. You send them whatever they're asking. So if
Okay.
they
I
if
mean, I
they
have to
it's
call
an
them
audit
now.
process. They may select you. Sometimes they don't. That's why they're asking you, hey, we'll send in your 1099B or send in. See, if you send them gas receipts, that's not going to substantiate your claim. It's
Okay,
your
so
cash. It's your
when
cash
you
that you paid the whole year. It's not your gallons. It's your cash. How much cash did you put in your gas tank?
okay, so when you normally do this tax return, you normally don't send it anything to them. It's just that you do it online and that's it. There's no documents you send into them.
No, unless they request you to send something to them, which
Okay.
usually we send the tax return to them again, and we just send them 1099B.
Okay, so now say when we have to do it with you, all we're gonna do is a tax return online and that would be it. And then we'll wait for them, I guess, to send the refund.
Well, I mean, this is just the 1041 for one layer. There's multiple layers for the 1041. So I just wanted to show you that's on the more base level for those who are starting out, that if you are able to substantiate your cash that you paid in gas the whole year, you can claim that through your revocable trust. But that's the EIN. So don't forget that's the EIN, not your social. All
Okay.
right.
And when we filing with you, you said we don't file the 1099A or B before that. We gonna file that same day, all those 1099A and Bs with you that same day?
When you say with me, we're just tech support. So we walk you through your software and
Yeah.
all that information is same day. That is correct. So yes, everything that you do with us is within 24 to 48 hours. And sometimes we stretch it out for about 3 sessions if you need time. But
Okay.
that's the most that we do. We don't drag it out. It's just it's same day results. For those who have
Oh,
taken our courses and paid for our services, they can better explain it than I can based upon their experience.
okay, so say I would have my car, all my utilities, and then all those bills together, and then that same day I will be filing all the A's and B's, or if it's 1041, I'll be filing all the B's with you that same moment, and that
No,
would
we don't do
out.
your 1099s for you. Your 1099s have to be already approved and accepted, or you have already got everything back before you file with us.
Oh, okay. So do the 1099s ahead of time.
Well, what we're saying is if you got W-2s that's coming in, that has to be added. If you got 1099s that's coming in, that has to be added also. Even if you do your own 1099s with whatever process or beneficial interest that you're saying you're claiming. Like I said, you can't claim your beneficial interest without taking this power back from those trustees at the top because
So
they
like
can challenge you.
so my 1099s A and B's, I need to do them before I get with you to do the 1040 tax return or
Well, we're not
1041.
we're trying to get you firstly on the fiduciary side. So you just file a 1041 without anything. That's your first 1041. When you file A and B, that'll be basically later because you've had the EIN name, you're using it. Right now, all your beneficial interest is in your social security number. So that's what we're talking about now. Everybody that's hearing this call, most people are not
And
even in the 1041 side. You're not even there.
uh, let me add on to that too. Like he said, you really too much don't want to worry about the A's and the B's in 1040 because that might put you in a longer holding pattern to get your money. Now, he is explaining basically you're going to file like regular taxes, a 1040
Mm-hmm.
with the Schedule C.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be on the line with you as tech support and you're going to type it in. It's
Okay.
almost like it's how fast can you type? And the number is going to show up on the screen for your return. And like he said, if you added up all your expenses for the year, if you made 100,000, I don't want to
Mhm.
be nosy, but how much of it you got left? You probably spent the whole 100 grand. You just ain't never sat down and added up everything you spent. Those are your expenses. You'll get a good enough return to where, like he said, you'll be able to pay off the expenses for the rest of this year. Then we're going to backtrack and do the 1040, 1041 or whatnot with the trust.
Correct. Because you
But
can't
you'll
Okay.
get to
have
the
income
1041.
and some
Mhm.
money to ease the pain while you go through the next process.
Okay. So
Right. And then we got Kim had her hand up too. She had a question that she was going to wait for the next. So go ahead. What's your next question?
I just want to make sure. So before we get with you, do we file the 1099 A's and B's? We don't have to worry about that. We have to just, we're just gonna just do the 1040 with you and the C schedule C as he said. We don't have to worry about the A's and B's for now.
No, we do everything. It's all about what you need done. So whatever service you need, we go through everything electronic. So you can do everything in certain sessions. What we do in a tax session is to file your 1040. That'll be one session. To file a 1041 will be another session. To do 1099s will be another session. So no, you don't do all those things all in one session because most of the time people don't have their numbers together correctly in the system. So you do three separate sessions for based on what you're asking specifically. You wouldn't do all three of those things in the same session.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna be done right now. I just wanna because I feel like I'm a little confused. Do I file before I get with you? Do I file any 1040s myself? I mean,
No, we
sorry,
don't. We don't accept.
1099.
We don't accept any pre-existing filings because if you've already done it, then you would just simply give us the information that you did already, and we would just
Sorry.
help you place it on your 1040 or your 1041. Right.
Okay,
So we can't. We can only take what we do with you.
okay, okay. All
So
right.
maybe I can clarify. So since I was able to get into the teachings with him, and you're just gonna go on his website, and then you're gonna choose the service. And when you choose the service, I messed it up. I did not do it, but I recommend you doing it. That you
Mm-hmm,
really read his service, read and
mm-hmm.
be prepared for the scheduled teachings. So then you go with him through the process, through the program that he offers, and you just have all your stuff that he has listed on the website together, and it's gonna be smooth.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay.
No problem. We got Kim. She had her hand up next for the line.
Peace. Can y'all hear me? Hold on. Uh-uh.
Yeah, we hear you well.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you
Oh,
well.
okay. All right. So, I had a question, um, about, the revocable. I mean, not the revocable, the sole prop. So, I have a revocable, and I have done all of this. I left off, um, the information on the Schedule C last year because I didn't get the right information. So I'm going to worry about 25 and then go back and do an amendment. Is that the proper step?
No, the way you do it is you file a 2025 1040, and then you type in the information that you had already from 2024, unless it's already in the same software. And then you click on amend and it'll just correct whatever you need to amend.
Right, I understand, but I should just make sure that I found my 25 before I try to amend 24. Is my point, is my question.
Right. You need to focus
Okay.
on getting your 2025 together now because it should already almost be done. Everyone should
Yeah,
almost be
I
ready to
have.
submit.
Yeah, and submit. And back to the young ladies, the question she was asking to confirm. It sounded like she was asking, should we do our 1099 A and B before we try to do before we file the 1040 and have it accepted?
There is no type of requirement the IRS says. That's why we're gonna ask the IRS to see if that is the case, that you can file your taxes and then you can also do the 1099 also on another
You say
software. Because what you're saying is, do I do my 1099 on the software, wait for it to get accepted, and then I go and do the 1040?
right,
That is ideal for a year that they're going to accept it. For right now, 2025, they don't have any acceptance for anyone right now until January 19th, just to kind of give an idea of 2025. So there's no way you can get accepted right now with any of those 1099s until after the software opens to file those 1099Bs or As.
Actually,
Here-
they just sent me an email that I did file some and they accepted them.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Mine's got accepted too.
Well, good. So
So
at this point, they're going to go into the software and then it's going to be able to show that you can file your taxes. Because at the end of the day, if you sit on 1099s and it just says accepted, or I show it on my transcript, you're supposed to file your tax return at the end of the day.
right, but it's accepted in the 1099 system. It's not on the transcript yet. Is
Well,
what
we're
I'm
saying
saying.
you still
So
need to file a 1040. So at the end of the
right,
day, you still have to file the 1040. That's what
right,
we
but that's
walk you through. We walk you through the 1040.
I'm just clearing up. I understand what you're saying, the process, right? But I'm clearing up that because I've already done the 1099, I did one A and a B. And when I do the other B, that goes on the software, on the free tax, right?
No, not necessarily. Not
Okay.
that,
Well, I'm
not
gonna
that
skip
way.
that then.
Right,
I'm
because
gonna
the way
skip
we
that
do
then.
it, we do everything with the numbers that you just said. So let's say all yours is accepted. So we'll take all your numbers and we'll help you walk through and type that in to your sole proprietor.
So you don't
So,
have to do two B's in the 1099 software. Is that correct?
well, the software will tell you to place it in a specific section and it says Schedule C. So the way we do it is specifically like the software says, is the Schedule C.
That's the 1040. I'm talking about the 1099 A and B and that
Right.
software.
And that
Do you
software
do
tells you to
we
do it on the Schedule C. That's correct.
okay, hold on. So I'm asking you, you know how we have some resources that have advised to do a 1099A and a 1099 and two 1099Bs? Is that still the way we should do it? Because one class I heard you say do an A and a B and then do the second B on the tax free tax.
Right. So if you don't understand the Schedule C, then none of this is going to go through for you because everything goes on the Schedule C. And you also typing in that in the software, which is the 1099B. So it
Uh,
says interest. And if you're not looking at the screen, it's impossible to give you words and say, hey, this is the correct way to do it. So we don't do anything by saying, here, do this, do that, and then get back with me and let me know how it worked out. We walk you
okay,
through
so
in real time. We don't
okay,
do anything that way.
just for clarity, 1099A and 1099B and whatever 1099 software we use, not the free tax. I'm not talking about that.
Hmm.
I'm talking about the tax, that software outside that we file the A and B in. Are we doing an A and two B's or A and one B?
What do you mean? Like, are you doing it when you say, are you using
Filing,
free tax
filing.
US? Are you using free tax USA to
No,
do it?
sir. No, sir. I'm asking you outside of free tax. We don't file the A's and B in free tax, right? We file it in some 1099 online software, right?
Right. With us, we file the A's, the B's, and the free tax USA software also.
At the same time. But initially, right? If I've already done it for 25 and got accepted, then I'm ready to do the 1040 and the Schedule C, right?
Yeah, you can. If you give us the
Okay.
form that you finished and you say, hey, I have the numbers right here. I need to type this in the software. We're going to help you walk through and type it in the software.
So
So
my
yeah.
question about that, your process right there, you just said, I just want to clarify. I do not have to do two B's in that outside of free tax call software. I only do one, right? And
Oh
the
no,
second B,
you need to have all those B's and A's ready to go before you can get with us to type it into the software.
so it has to be one A and two B's in the software outside of free tax. correct?
Yeah, so the way it works is if you understand this, because we weren't even talking about this at this point, but we'll go into it and
Oh,
we can ask the question and show you in the what the office says. Like I say, you can go off of my knowledge or you can go off of Guru or someone else, but we're just going to show you the screen where it says everything. So
right.
that's what
And
I
that's
was going
where
to
I'm
get
getting
to.
this from. I got this from one of your previous classes. You said,
Yes, exactly. I'm going to show you the screen where I said it, and I'm going to show you where it says the lender grantor as well as the trustee as well. We're going to talk about this. That's why I'm getting to those screens to show those offices that's in charge of this information right now. But even if I said it, or even if you did all those things, you still have to get through the banking systems. This is where I'm trying to get to. So even if you get the check, let's say everything goes through, everything's right, whether I said it a certain way or it worked anyway, a certain different way, you now have the check.
okay.
I hope that
Um,
helps with that part. So then we can make sure we get to the software, which is the tax software. But I just want to make sure I can show the 1099A is a lender or a grantor. So that is the lender grantor. That's the 1099A. The 1099B is the payer and the trustee. So you can't be you can't be a payer if you're not a trustee. That's what I'm trying to really get everybody through. So I don't know how you're an individual and you're a payer. It's almost impossible to be an individual and a payer. But you can be a trustee,
mm-hmm,
which is a payer, and that's the
mm-hmm,
first 1099B that you're talking about. So if you prove to me that your trustee is the 1099B that's paying that, then yes, it'll go through. The second B that you mentioned, the 1099B, which is the recipient B,
mm-hmm,
that's the beneficiary B. So
mm-hmm,
that's the third position that I just went over earlier, showing that we play all three positions.
mm-hmm.
It's not my words. That's what the Social Security office says. That's what the trust, actually, that's what the trust office said right here at the top that we said earlier. So yeah, I'm hitting the same thing, the A, the B, and the B. If we're going to go and say, hey, is this the same information? But this is where I'm getting it from. I'm not going into where I'm saying this is the information. I'm just showing you where it says it on the screen.
Okay. And
So I
then
hope
my
that
second,
helps. I hope that helps with the A, the B, and the B that you're speaking of, because you have to prove you're the beneficiary.
yeah, I'm gonna do a consultation because, yeah,
It says it right
I
here too.
have
I just want to
another
make sure I
question.
went over here. The party whose benefit of the trust is created is called the what? The beneficiary.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah,
beneficiary receives the what? The funds, the beneficial interest, the funds, the money, the income from the what? From the trust.
trust. Okay. Okay. All right. I got you.
No
I
problem.
do
I just
have
want to
one
make
more
sure we
question.
getting all the same answers. I want to make sure we answer the other sister's question too, because she's asking questions about, I guess, forms that's outside of the software. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess both of y'all are asking that question. So we want to make sure we understand.
I just wanted clarity on which make sure that I did it correctly. I had one more question about the EIN for does the EIN I got a revocable trust EIN. Does the sole prop need an EIN?
That is correct. That is not what we're going to go into today, is an EIN, right? So um, we're not going to talk about the EIN because we're still dealing with the social, which is the individual. So we can't even talk about the EIN yet because we're still dealing with ourselves coming out of this individual side.
Okay.
You see,
All
so the once you get into the EIN side, that's a whole bunch of, like we say, business. You're like an employer now. So I want to
All
make
right.
sure I can go into the first layer of that, which is
Okay.
the bank. And if we can't get to the bank, then we can't really know how to even deal with them. So right now we're still dealing with the claims for cash, all your claims for cash, your violations, your payments, your property, your land, etc. This office manages all types of claims. What is that office that most of us don't know how to deal with? That office is the county clerk. So we're gonna learn that your county clerk's office is what's the main office that we're gonna say is over most of all your trust property. We're gonna keep it simple. They're the trustees over your trust property, the tangible trust property. So all your tangible, sometimes intangible, they're in charge of the tangible and intangible trust property. That's why we tell people that, hey, make sure you can see yourself, your trust as see yourself as a trustee in their system. So like I said, I can prove this. I want to show it. I'm going to type in my information right here to make sure I can see myself in there as a trust. So what we do is we go into your book and page number. We want you to type in your book and page number if you have it in certain counties. Some counties have the document number. This is another way that you can know for sure that your trust or your revocable trust is activated in their system so that you can take over the trust property as well as the intangible or intangible, the tangible and intangible trust property. So any comments or thoughts to this part, because this may be a part that some of us are not ready yet. Let's say you're looking to get the beneficial interest, that some of us are saying, hey, when I get this check, how do I make sure that I feel comfortable when I get the check or the tax money from the treasury? These are some of the layers that you need to have in place to feel comfortable getting the tax money from the treasury, especially if it's a high substantial amount. If you're under 50,000, you don't have to too much worry about that. You can just send them the trust document at any point. But as you get into this higher level of more cash that's over 50,000, they want to see that you're on the level of these trustees of this general attorney office, this state attorney's office, and all these other offices I just talked about. That's why it's best to put it on the county record. So any comments or thoughts to this part right here? And I'll go into the book and page number to show how you're supposed to be shown in this book, or this document number needs to be shown in their system.
Yeah, Wallace. So what you're saying, we have to also when we be trustees of our revocable living trust, we have to also make sure it's on the county record also. Like don't.
If you're claiming over $50,000,
Oh, okay. Let me write
all
down
right.
if I'm
So
claiming.
if your bills are over 50K, then you got to
Okay.
get to this level. If you got a
Okay.
house, if you got stuff that's over that amount, then you got to get on this level.
Yeah, I do. Okay. So I gotta
That's for anybody that has assets over that amount in cash. I
over
just showed you the Social Security office said cash,
over
liquidity, anything that can be
50,000.
sold and put into cash.
Okay. Over
That's how much
50,000.
money y'all got.
Okay. So I will have to, if I do have over 50,000, I have to also let the county records know that I'm the trustee of my of the living revocable trust.
Hmm.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Thank you for that. I didn't even
Yes,
know that.
absolutely. So this is where I'm going to
Wow.
show that you have to be shown in the book. This is the
Oh,
book.
okay.
The living, the living trust is in the book.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I didn't even know that. Wow. Okay. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. That's why we're here to show. We want to show
Wow.
the information rather than talk about it. I know there's a lot of talk, but we want to show the results.
Yeah. You want to show the receipts, you want to show the proof. I understand.
And what about if the debt, does the debt has to be like, for example, with Vince before, I know when he was teaching his class, he used to say, try not to get a return over 250. If our debt exceeds way more than that, are we still trying to go for 250 or what we're supposed to do?
Right, like I said, you're going to get into the part where you're going to be challenged by the general attorney office or the state attorney if they choose to say, "Hey, this trust is over 50K." They're just going to report it. That's what they do. The bank is going to report you.
Because I know definitely my debt is like way over probably the limit. Yes, like you saying 50K, that's like way over that.
Right. So you want to get it on the county record. You want to get that trust on the county record.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very important, especially if you're going to get over that amount.
Mhm.
So let me prove that. That's why I felt uncomfortable too. But that's why I say you got to feel comfortable getting the money back from the taxes. You got to feel comfortable getting that tax money. So what I did, I typed my booking page. Like if they ask me on the phone, the treasury say, "Well, look, can you prove to us you have a revocable trust?" So I'll have to prove to that IRS agent over the phone because they're the one that's supposed to send the check too, right? So this is an example right here. I use myself as an example. I type in my booking page number. Let me see if it pops up. It should pop up. It took me it was difficult to get the booking page number at first. All right, you all see the screen, right? I'm gonna make sure I got it. Found the
Mm-hmm.
booking page. Let's go to search. It should still pop up. Yes, there we go. See, I pop up.
Wow.
It shows I'm the what? That's why I want to prove
Grantor.
this right here. I'm the grantor.
Yep. Wow. Okay.
You see that social security card name,
Yep.
the driver's license name and number,
Hmm.
the name on the bank accounts. That's the
Wow.
grantor, y'all.
Wow. Okay.
So you want to be in the book showing that you're the grantor.
Okay.
Remember we went over earlier those three parts the revocable trust plays the grantor, the
Yeah.
trustee, and the
Yeah.
beneficiary.
Okay. Well, I didn't even do nothing like this. Okay. I
Any
see.
questions or thoughts of this? Some of us have done this. We want to get some feedback from people who have done this part. Do you feel like you can find yourself in the book? Do
Mm.
you see your book and page number popping up? Some of us who have done this part.
So you don't have to go down there. You could do it on their website or upload your documents or what? Or you just got to go down there.
Like I say, we're tech support. We walk through everything online.
Oh. Okay.
You see, we're gonna send you the website, we're gonna send you the phone
Oh.
numbers.
Oh. Okay.
All that stuff is why we do tech support.
Oh.
But
Okay.
we got a brother on here. He said he did it. You know,
Oh.
can we get a testimonial from this brother?
Yeah. I
Because
want to hear what he got to say. Yes.
this
I
is
want to
rare.
hear it.
This is rare. We don't have a lot of people who can say they can type their book and page number in or their
Exactly.
document number on the county record.
Right. Yeah. I want to hear from him. His experience.
Oh, go ahead. We got somebody else. I don't know if he want to speak, but it's all right. We got Mindy had his hand up. Go ahead, Mindy.
What's going on, brother? I was in and out, but I did something similar to this. I have like a revocable living trust, but I have it like in my government name, and I want to update that and change it into something different. But I did something similar. My case is a little bit different. The mortgage is under my wife's name, but my name is on the deed. So she doesn't understand any of this process, but I understand, like, some of this to a certain extent. So, um, so in this case, since she signed a promissory note and I didn't, so how would I go about, just correcting the record and have her stuff set up? I know that's probably a lot, but might give you an idea.
Oh, okay.
Right. She would need a revocable living trust, and it will be filed on the record.
Okay.
You see, after you have to do the same for yourself. When you save yourself, you now have to save your wife or your household.
Okay.
You know, so it's a spirit. It's not a spiritual. It is a spiritual. I'm not going to say that because I was told it's still spiritual. It is a
Mm-hmm.
physical thing that's still going on when you're dealing with the documents. Um, you know, so I like to say this is very important that we see the documents for all of our household, including our children, which I'll get into on other calls later. Yes, I want to look up some
Thanks.
others. Let me see if we got some other people that's showing up. I don't know if I have the book and page number. If y'all just give me the book and page if you're in this area, I want to see if it pops up. Okay, I
I
got a
just
message
put
coming up.
mine up in the chat. I searched my county and found the trust over there with the booking number. But if you
Mm-hmm.
take any of Wallace's classes that he offered, he gonna get you lined up. A lot of questions that's being asked. If you took those one-on-ones, he'll hit you right on point with it, and you'll be in and out, and it ain't gonna take long.
Absolutely, man. That's perfectly true. We look at it like it's that's what lawyers do. Well, how long did it take them when they be doing y'all documents in court? They do it. They take a day. They don't take long, do they?
When he do your taxes, it'll probably be quicker than if you went to another person, H&R Block, whoever adds it. And like he said, everyone's situation is different. But I believe that when you're doing the 1099s and the other processes, it is going to take longer. You're probably going to get a bigger check, which doesn't mean a good thing if, like he said, you don't have the things before already in place. So you can file those 1099s, I believe, at any time. It's not like no rush because you're kind of waiting in a rush to wait a long time. When you do that individual side, you'll get some remedy right away, and then you can go right back to the 1099s. That's just in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. It is true. You do have to kind of wait if you don't have these things. So yeah, that is the answer for those who are looking to go over the amount of 50K. It is important that you would show that you're able to prove the trust is on the record to feel comfortable to get the tax money back. Now, if you feel that you still, well, look, I got the trust instrument in my hand, Brother Wallace, Brother Temple. If they ask me for it, I'm gonna give it to them. That's cool too. Just make sure you respond. Do not ignore those notices. If they ask you questions, make sure you send the trust in, and you talk to them through the trust. But some of us, we got to be careful with, that type of response. It's better to have it on the record. So that's it for the county office. That's one of your offices. I wanted to type in the other one the brother gave me as an example. Let me see if I can type it in. I don't know if it pops up. Let's see if he had the book and page number. But if you don't have the book and page, I'll just try typing in just the name,
Hey, Brother Wallace.
say home. Go ahead, Madudio.
Well, see, I wanted to ask you a question like what you just said. Uh, when you send the trust in, whatever question they ask you, isn't that when you're supposed to send the 56 in with the trust or the trust by itself?
Right. I mean, you send the trust in. It's perfect. I just pulled up the brother and he asked me to send this right here. But yes, right. What you're doing is you're going to the clerk. This is the clerk, right? That's the trustee over all the tangible and even some of your intangible property, which is your bank accounts. So this is the trustee over these bank accounts as well, the
Oh,
county
you
clerk.
saying go through the county? Oh, okay, like where I had recorded it.
I don't
Just
know
run
what you
it.
did, but you should be able to type in your instrument code or your instrument number or your book and page number, and it should pop up. That's how another brother gave me his example. He typed in this
Oh,
revocable trust name. He told me to
yeah.
type in it, and it popped up for him too.
Okay, you talking about the other information that's on it when I recorded it, the page number and the instrument number and oh, okay,
Right, right. So I need you to go to that website of your county and type that
okay.
information in, or get a certified copy of that document from the
Well,
Can you
yeah, I
county.
put
got a
my book and
certified.
page number?
I got the certified copy of that. I
Okay,
just,
good.
I mean, I don't have it with me, but but I see what you're saying because I did go back down there and got certified copies of my trust at Wayne
Mhm.
County Registers of Deeds.
It's up there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. That's great. So it's there. So as long as you can find it, that's where you're found. You're no longer lost. You're now found.
right, right.
You see?
Hmm.
That's what we're saying, right? So this brother right here too was on the example screen too. He's also in the he's found here too. We can see that he's the grantor. He has his revocable trust on the county. Looks like they just got theirs done in 2025. So this
Yeah,
is
I'm
where
it's
in
we
in the
see that
Oakland
that's on that
County,
level.
right next door to you, man.
yeah, Oakland County, yeah, Telegraph and 13, 13 mile
Mhm.
road, 12 miles. Yeah, so you're in
Mhm.
Michigan. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is where we show these are examples of what we're saying to feel comfortable to get the tax money back, which we'll get into this later. We want to make sure that everybody knows why the trust instrument proceeds you as the legal agreement or the legal document according to your state law that allows you to get this trust money or the tax money. I'm sorry. All right, so let's go to our
Okay.
next example. And I will also allow, we got Alicia Clark. I don't know if we had any other hands. Give me a second. Let me pull in, give me this next screen. So we got Alicia, we got Raymond, and then we got Alicia Clark. Go ahead, Raymond.
No, I was just giving my book and page number for the example. I put it in the chat, but it's 5209
I'm in, I'm
28.
in, I'm in a different county, so it will be the county that you're in. You would want to search that
Oh,
county that you're in.
all right.
You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't be able to type unless you give me the link of your county office.
Port St. Lucie County.
Exactly. So you would have to, we would have to go to that records
Oh, we got to
department.
go to that website. Got you. No problem.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's where we at. So I'm gonna
Yep.
let Alicia Clark take in the next, and I'm gonna give this next example on the screen, which is the Brothers Trust, and we'll be getting out of here real soon. So
Hi, I filed my revocable trust in a different state because my clerk refuses to cooperate with, anything I'm doing in the private. Is that still acceptable?
what do you mean by that?
I filed my private revocable trust in the state of Oklahoma, and I'm trying to find remedy in
Did you
Prince
file
William
it in a
County.
county? Did you file it in a county in the state?
No, it's a different state.
No, you need to find another county in your state to take jurisdiction from your state. You got to take the power back from your state attorney's office.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So they have the power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was having problems with my clerk. I found his bond, it's a whole side story.
No, 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 no,
But
no. You don't
he
want to get
won't.
into that. You don't want to get into that because that's not trust side. You gotta go in as a trustee that's taking over the trust, and you're just taking over the trust. They're just not working for you. So you don't want to be back. You don't want to burn the bridge, right? You want to go ahead and build. Some
That
people you may have to remove, but just leave that county, right? Go to another county in your state and try to place the trust on another county. I know you have a problem with that county person, but we got to get past that person and get you in another county to get the trust on the record.
I've tried 2 counties in New York State, but I'll try a third. Thank you.
Well, you got plenty of counties in Oklahoma. Come on now. I got some counties in Oklahoma. All right. I hope I answered your question, Alicia.
Thank you.
All right. We got another last example for us tonight, and we see that this guy right here, his brother, he has his name as grantor in the system. He uses himself as an example. It also shows himself as using the same name as a trust. So this is a good example for those who have the name of their trust as the same name. So his is a great example showing the grantee. But this was for a case right here. So we see the book and page number popping up here for a case. And I think his trust will pop up in this case as well. So this actually proves to you that you can place your trust on a court case, and it looks as if the case number, or whatever reason, is now being utilized on their record. So this was recorded on 3/16/20, so it was in 2023. All right, so this is a great example for those who want to see and feel that you have access to those trusts or those treasury trust funds. Yes, we do put all the pages. Some say, well, why did you put all the pages? Why not just the certificate of trust? Why not just do the certificate of trust and just leave the last page and the front page, right? Well, the reason why we do all pages is because our trust is written like a generic trust, and we want to make sure that they have all the pages for the rules or the articles of instruction for our trust. So we don't have that many pages because it can be costly if you use too many pages. We don't advise you to have a 25 to 30 to 45 page trust. That'll be very expensive for you to place it on the county record. So we advise you to do the trust that's minimal And the trust that we do is a very minimal trust. It's not as many pages. As you can see, this brethren only has 8 pages. So that's also another example we want to use for making sure if you're going to do the trust on the record, don't make it too expensive for yourself.
Walls, I have one question. So, if, like, cause I live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So if I was to go down City Hall and they won't file mine, like you said, I could go to any county in Pennsylvania to file, see who filed my trust on the record.
Hmm. Any county
Okay.
that will accept your trust in the estate, we actually know a new department you can say.
Uh
You
huh.
can say trust department. I'm sorry, estate department.
State Department. Okay.
Yeah, the estate department,
A
or
lot
even
of uh,
probate too. Oh, go ahead, Carlin.
I just want to answer her. A lot of times when they won't file your trust, all
Mhm.
you have to do is put it either under miscellaneous,
Miscellaneous. I heard. Yeah.
or you can file an affidavit like a cover page, and they will just file it doing that. Or if
Hmm.
you own the property, you can just attach it to your property if you happen to have a property in that county. Just
Mhm.
put the book and page of your property, and you can file it doing that as well.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's right. Like equitable interest in property, you're an equitable owner
And
now.
Alicia, I seen your chat message. Thank you for that too, Alicia. I seen your what you put in the chat.
I'll say that again. They're like equitable interest in property, your
Mhm.
equitable ownership for
Okay.
all who have mortgages. You are already equitable owner. We'll talk about that later. So let me close you all out for this week on the offices. So we went through a lot of offices. You got your county office or your clerk
Okay.
office. I'm sorry, your clerk, which is your court. It's a very difficult office to deal with sometimes for some of us because we avoid that location. You don't want to avoid these locations anymore.
Right.
All right, so this is our last one, and this is why I say you can't go to the left or the right. The
Mhm.
left side is the individual side. The right side is the trust account. We're going to talk about how the trust account is the right side. Next is the like I say, this is all your claims for cash violations, payments, property, land, etc. This office manages all types of claims. That's your county office, and your county attorney is over that office as well. Next is your corporation offices. Now you're in the corporation now. Once you join to the corporations, everything I just did earlier was your government offices. So we took a long time on the government offices to prove how much power the government offices have over your social security name and number. Next is the corporation offices that have power over your social security name and number. Number one, your Federal Reserve Bank. Aha.
Mm.
Look at that. So you all thought the Federal Reserve Bank doesn't have power. They have power over your financials. So they have power over financials. I'm going to show you how they do this, where they got this power from the Social Security office too. So they gave this power over to them because they have the original power. So then they gave them a power of attorney too, the Federal Reserve Bank.
Wow.
But that's how they doing it, y'all. They issuing these powers of attorney.
Wow.
So the social card name and number used for a corporate banking system under the rules of the federal codes. Look at that.
Mm.
That's right. All the banking system is under the rules of the federal codes. This maintains the court test and the control test I told y'all about before. So yes, when you create those trust accounts, they still can pass the court test and the control test. You want to fail that test. You want to fail that test. That's what that is.
Mm.
So if you don't know what it is, the goal is to fail that test.
Right.
This maintains the court test and control test to full authority and administration over total deposits.
Mm.
That's why when y'all deposit those treasury checks and they hold the money or they freeze the account, this shows you their court tests and control tests over those funds. For
Mm.
some of us who got the large checks back and it went into the individual account, we
Wow.
learned that once you get the check and you place it in the personal individual account, they have the authority, if it's over a certain amount, to freeze that money.
Wow.
They can keep telling you 30 days. They can say, hey, and you by the time you talk to the treasury, then they can go to court against you and say, hey, well, they did fraud. And now you're going to drop
Wow.
it because now they can come at you as a criminal. You see?
Man, these people, Lord have mercy.
It's a court test and control test.
Wow.
So we're just giving you the nitty gritty to this banking
I
system.
know.
I'm just trying to make sure y'all ready for it.
Wow, we got some studying and work to do, y'all. Lord have mercy. These people.
That's right. And guess who they're appointed as? This is where the corporate banks
Mm-hmm.
are appointed as co-trustees with all banking
Wow.
institutions in the United States and also throughout the world. That's right. So even over there, my brethren over in Sweden, they got Bank of America's over there. That's
Wow.
right. They got Bank of America's over in China. And, yeah, it's interesting. So these people have this jurisdiction everywhere.
Yeah, you're right.
Am I right, friends? That they got some Bank of America's over there?
I don't believe that, but I'm sure there is. Um, I'm sure there is.
There's banks
Banks
all
of
over
America.
the world. So these banking
Yes,
systems.
yes.
So I'll say this last part, and I'll let you. I don't want to hold you all too much longer because we're over our time. And I'll give you all this Q&A session for these last 10, 15 minutes or less. And it says the social security card name and number is given over. Let me make sure I scroll in for this. The social security card name and number will is given over to the corporate trustees who are over total deposits.
Mm.
That's right. So that social security card, that's where you're coming out of. You got to come out of the social security card
Yeah.
name. You got to come out of the social security card number, the way that you're using it. Because the way that you're using that social security card name is an individual name. The
Right.
way you're using that number is an individual number.
That's why you said we got to get us a soul prop.
That is correct. See, that's why I say go the straight way.
Uh-huh.
I
Yep.
say go the
Okay.
straight way. I didn't say go to the right, which is to the trust account, because that's to the right. That is
Right.
the right side. That's the right side. You got the left side. The left side is this individual account that we already in.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you don't take an act or don't move on any of this knowledge or information, you're already on the left side anyway.
Yeah.
The social security card name, the individual name, is what they have authority over.
Exactly. Wow.
So that's why I say once it hits over 50K,
Uh-huh.
yes, they can start taking the cash.
Wow.
Some of them take it less than that. It depends on your accounting. They say, well, look, out of nowhere, you don't grab about $50,000. We want to hold it for about 7 days
Oh wow.
because it's on the individual side.
Exactly.
Does this make sense to anyone? We just want
Yes,
to
it
make
do
sure we're
make
picking
sense. Yes.
everybody's brain.
Yes, it does. And as long as we stay over there, we'll keep getting. They're gonna keep doing what they doing. Keep stealing. Keep taking.
And you trust them now?
Especially these utility companies double dipping. If they double dip, going your stuff, then you pay out of pocket for the
Mm,
fourth time when they already got the credits. Oh,
That's a
we
whole
got
nother
work to
level.
do, y'all. We got work to do. I'm
Yeah, that's
sorry.
it. That's your that's going back to your county and your
Hmm.
state. That's
Yep.
really your state office again, because that's going back under your city attorney. Because
Wow.
the city attorney is in charge of those city utility accounts. So
Wow.
y'all not sending it to the right person. You need to be sending it to the city attorney.
So what you mean? Our utilities
Wow.
send it to the city
Yes,
attorney?
that's right. The city attorney
What?
is over all y'all utilities. Y'all sending it to the wrong people.
Let me write this. Wait, hold up. Wait. Let me write this
hmm
down, Wallace. Wait. You got to say that again. I got a
Never
pen.
heard never
Say
heard of
that
that
again.
before.
No, me either. Go ahead, Wallace. I got a
No,
pen ready.
no problem. I'm just giving y'all these powers, these places
Yes.
you're taking the power from these
He
attorneys.
Now
said
you
your
said the
They're
city
the
city.
attorney is over
trustees.
You said the
the
city
utility.
attorney.
The city
hmm
attorney.
Attorney
Wow.
is responsible for.
Hey, that's a
Say that again, Wallace.
Well, yeah, I'm just giving y'all, these are all y'all players. You got your attorney general, your state attorney office, your county attorney, your city attorney, your private attorneys.
And you
So
said the
these are your
city.
private attorneys right here I'm talking about now. Y'all banking people that's over y'all
And
money.
you said the city attorney. He's over the utilities.
That's correct.
private attorney
The
over
city
the bank.
attorney is over the.
Utilities. That's right. City
Yeah.
So
attorneys over y'all police too. If you want to go that far,
well,
the police, the city attorneys over the
City
police.
I want to
attorney
ask
over
you
the
this,
police.
Wallace. So instead of
Mhm.
us sending our utilities to where they have us mail them to, or if we do it on, if we got do it pay it online or pay whatever, we send it to the city attorney.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing everybody asks about the ABB. Like, who are you sending this information to? You see, so it's the same answers. It never changes. It's just all about how you're talking. I gave you the answers to these offices already to who you talk to.
Wow.
So yeah, I would send the ABB if somebody's saying, "Hey, how do I do that?" I would send it to that right office, to that place or that place that's over. So we're not going to get into those details this week. I'm trying to draft y'all through this
I
to show you
know.
all these offices that got this
Wow.
power over y'all social security account. Because the
Yes.
Treasury office gave the money over. They don't know what's going on down there. They're like, "Hey, you all, thank you. We sent your check out. We deposited your funds, and everything looks good." Now you're dealing
Wow.
with these people down here. That's what y'all forgetting about.
And see, we would never had known that. Oh, wow.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's not easy to get through, but you just got to be ready
Right.
for it. But we're just
Yeah.
being prepared for some of us who are
Prepared.
grabbing the funds. Make sure you're prepared. We're not saying don't get the funds. We're just saying be prepared.
Exactly. Oh, wow.
But that's it. I want to give y'all this last part, which is one of the and I'll give you my source, and I got somebody with their hands up and give you that source because I got to show you where I'm getting this information from. Look at this.
Hmm.
FDIC. I bet you y'all are familiar with that one. The Federal Deposit Insurance
Yeah.
Corporation, the FDIC insurance people. Look at that.
So
The
what?
trust fiduciary activity people.
Wow.
So you can't make it up. I'm just giving you where it's
So
coming
all of
from.
these people have access to our credits and trusts. Is what you're
Yes,
saying?
that is what I'm saying.
Oh, wow.
And it's your job to become the fiduciary and to
Yes.
become the trustee and the sole beneficiary, all these layers.
Okay.
That is, I'm
Gotcha.
not saying it's something that we all have already done.
Right.
All right, so we got Alicia Clark got her hand up, and I gave y'all this source. I'm gonna type the source in the chat for you so you can see
Okay.
that source for
Appreciate
your
that.
future reference.
I appreciate that.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Alicia, and we're gonna open up our Q&A session
This is
for everyone in just about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Go ahead, Alicia.
wow.
Can I put a vehicle contract and or vehicle note into the revocable living trust as a special deposit?
What do you mean by put it in there? You're saying say it one more time. Put it the special deposit into where again?
Into the revocable living trust?
How do you special deposit? You just list it as a Schedule A. It's listed under your Schedule A. Whatever you have as property is listed under your schedule of assets. That's what Schedule A actually stands for those who don't know. Schedule of assets.
And do I publish that as well? I'm having problems with the reprevalent.
You're supposed to add it to your revocable living trust, and it goes also on the county record. But we don't advise people to list their property locations and things on your Schedule A just for privacy reasons. It's private trust property. But you can create a Schedule A or schedule of assets when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm just trying to deal with a repossession when I've already paid off the trust through the vehicle through the 000 method. So, and they accepted the payment and now they're trying to repossess the vehicle. So I'm just trying to navigate that.
Well, they're gonna repossess because their name is on the title. That's why they're doing it. They don't care about the payment. Their name is on the title. They're a lien holder in the title. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I'm trying to move that into the right side, I guess. That's
You
what
don't
I'm
want to go to the right. You want to go to the straight. You want to go straight. The right side is the trust, where if you aren't straight, then you can't move it into the trust. You got to be the fiduciary. You got to become the trustee. They're not going to just take it out of your individual name for the car. That's one of the hardest ones most of us are dealing with. If you're making payments on the car, they're going to keep it on the individual side.
Yes, I stopped making payments, but I paid off the car through the social security number. They accepted the payment. They gave me a check back, and now I'm trying to how to navigate the title now that the loan, they accepted the payment. I'm trying to navigate how to move the
So,
title, I
so,
guess
so the
then.
question is this: do you have access to the title in your hand?
Yes.
Perfect. Now you need to move the title into the name of your trust. That's the
Could I
next step.
answer her?
Through
That's all you
through
have to do
Schedule
now.
A? Through the
No, no,
Schedule
no,
A?
no, 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 no. It's just you putting the name of your trust, the EIN, on your title. Whatever that name of your trust is, you have to put exactly what it says. And that's who you're selling your vehicle to.
So would that
Um,
be considered a special deposit?
No, it's not. It's just you
Okay.
moving
Okay.
your property into your revocable living trust. All these extra things with special deposit and all this sending things, the registered mail, you don't do any of that stuff. It's just the title is being sold like if you was on Craigslist or if you was on Marketplace to somebody on Marketplace, but you just type the name of the trust on the title.
You just move the
Do
car
I
out of the individual site, move it
Yes,
to the
exactly.
trust, so you don't own it anymore, so they can't get it because you don't own it.
they
so
will
then
still take, they
then
could still take her vehicle. I have done that already. I have done that plenty of time. So as long as you still got the same address, the vehicle still got the same VIN, they will come and repossess it. I have done that several times. I transfer into a trust. What you would have to do is to sell that vehicle. Because if you sell it and it's on a different property and it's different, because they're gonna give you a whole new title and everything. But if they come on your property and they see that VIN number, they're still gonna take the vehicle.
Why
However,
why are
Yeah,
they
you're
going to take your
probably
vehicle
right.
if you pay for your trust? How are you going to take your vehicle if you pay for your vehicle? Unless you're doing something different that we're not understanding what you did to pay for your vehicle.
I
So
did the same
usually,
thing she did. I
so I
paid
don't
for the
whatever
with
it
the
is, we're
number.
just assuming someone just is on Craigslist. That's why we gave the Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace example, right? And they had the title in their hand, and they simply signed the title over to the name of their trust. That's the only way this will work. Now, if you're making payments and you're doing something else,
No, okay.
that has to
I'm
be solidified with whatever the place you paid for.
I'm speaking in reference to what she did. What she did is that she paid the car off with using that social number. I did that several times. And then after doing that, I got my title and I even got the release lien letter. So I did different processes in doing that. However,
Oh, you're talking about the banking process with
yeah,
your letter in the back of your social card. That's what you all were
yeah,
talking about.
I got
Okay,
my
yes.
title doing that.
Yes, yes. That will reverse over time. We understand that process too. We don't show you, we're showing you how it reverses. That's why I was getting you all to this, or walking y'all down to the banking system to show you why they reverse. Because
But
they're in charge.
she
They're the trustees and fiduciaries over the banking card too,
what
which is the
she's
social card.
saying is that she did that and she got the title and she's worrying about them because they're saying they're gonna pick up the car.
Right, because it reversed is what I'm telling you, is
So
how it
I'm
usually happens. It always reverses, and then they're like, hey, thank you. We just realized it reversed.
yes.
Yeah, we sent you the title already, but we want it. We still want the car.
But that's what I'm telling her because I have done that several times. So what I would do is that one time when I did that with my vehicle, I put it into a trust. But there's a lot of people because I was in different like communication people who have done that and try to put it into a trust or try to transfer it, and they still pick up the car because as long as they come in your property and they see that VIN number, they're gonna whenever they picking up your car, they're gonna look for the VIN number. And whenever they see the VIN number, even though you transfer it and you still got the same address, they're gonna pick up the car. So what I had to do, either you have a garage and you don't leave your car out. So my car is always in my garage. And then if it's not in my garage, the last few times when I did that, I would just sell the car and completely get a brand new car. So
No
they can't
problem.
come
I see
after
what you're
you.
saying. I see exactly what you're saying. That is a good strategy. We're just saying
Let
that,
me
hey, if you're dealing with that, just make sure that's what's happening for you. Go ahead. We
let
got
me
somebody.
say this. Them a lot of them processes, I'm telling you, I did a lot of that. They'll work sometimes, then they'll come back and bite you. That's
Mm,
why what Wallace is saying when you file the taxes on the 1040 side, Individual with the Schedule C, he trying to keep y'all in the safest place. When you do that, we not supposed to spend all the money on frivolous things. We're supposed to have spent the money on that car note and paid them off completely. That's where the money go. And
No, that
then when we buy a new car, we purchase the car through the trust.
no, that's fine. But saying my with me doing that, that was before whatever they're teaching here, and I'm still learning that process. But she's in that process right now, which she have done it. So she's trying to ask for help on how not to get them to repossess her
Right. You got to
vehicle.
start all over. Anytime you have a pre-existing process or anything that we find so far, you got to pretty much start from scratch. It's
The
like
bad
on a
news.
whiteboard.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
But
like the whiteboard. And then you
I
just do everything over again.
she can keep her if okay, if she gets the money, which she'll process quick, she can pay it off. But with me, like I said, I did that several times, and again, I haven't had any issues. Number one, they can't sue you because you got the title, you got the lien, and once there is no attachment to any asset, there's nothing they can get you for. They can't take you to court. I've done this like for years now, and the CEO called me and trying to say, oh, we need payment back before I even sold the car. I told them if they can put in an affidavit that I owe this money, I'll start making payment, and I'll never hear from them again. And again, like I said, I would keep the car maybe for a year or whatever, and after that, I would sell the car and just buy a new car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they coming for that car.
Yeah, no problem. If anybody who has a strategy to maneuver, that is great. We're just showing you why they have that power. And this is where this is coming from. So once they give that, once the bank gives that power over to that tow truck company or those repossession people, they are able to exercise those trust powers because they're in trust. Those funds, those things that they have as property. So we're not going to have too much time to finish out everything dealing with the banking system this week, but we'll get into the banking system next week as we deal with how these powers are still being executed over us even in this time that we're in right now, as they're appointed as co-trustees. I thank you all for coming in. We have went over our time a little bit. I would go into more comments and questions, but since we went over that time, we're gonna have to close out.